This video continues with page 120. Naruto, The Bonds of Team 7. Page 120. Empire Tianren, who was wearing light blue clothes, took out a spear from his space ring. His figure turned into a stream of light and rushed straight towards the ninja of the ninja village. Until he got close, he waved his hands, martial arts, white bird paying homage to the phoenix. The tip of the gun instantly split into hundreds, like the chirping of birds, leaving streaks of blood on the ninja's body. Oh, the blood. It's burning. 8 gates. Devil's back. Muscles liberation. Drink. Empire Zio Lai roared, transformed into a muscular man, and rushed out, waving his hands, creating gusts of wind and blowing away groups of ninjas. If only the above-mentioned ninjas were to take action, the weakest ones were only at the level of Cage, while the stronger ones had power close to, or even comparable to, or surpassing that of the tailed beasts. The balance of victory quickly tilted towards the Empire. Some of the Imperials who had not yet taken action watched the battle quietly. Ninja World Sasuke crossed his arms and said with a bored look, "Is this all the people in the ninja village are? They are so weak it's a pity that they even summoned the former Cages and strong men. It's really disappointing." Although he said that, he was shocked in his heart. The strength of every person in the Empire was too strong. Sure enough, when the Empire sent these people to the ninja world, they had already calculated that these people had enough power to overthrow the ninja world. It's amazing the people of the Empire are really amazing. The previous worries were completely unnecessary. Sure enough, our choice was correct. Resisting the Empire is meaningless. When the group of Konoha people saw this, they felt much more at ease. At the same time, he looked at some of the strong men who had not yet taken action, including Itachi, Setsuna, Obaido, and Kakashi. I sighed in my heart. After some people from the 4 major ninja villages discovered this, their faces were filled with despair and regret. How could it be just these few people? But they actually suppressed all the people from the 4 major ninja villages, as well as some former big figures and Cages. These guys are really too scary. Didn't I say that as long as we work together there is nothing that cannot be overcome? How terrifying. These guys are not ninjas at all. They are demons. We are just ninjas. How can we fight against the devil? We can't win. We can't win at all. Surrender. These guys, at least they are restrained in their fighting. If we surrender, they should accept us. Words like these began to be heard in the 4 major ninja villages. The high-ranking officials of the ninja village who heard this secretly cursed. At the same time, I couldn't help but wonder, why haven't the first Hokage and those impure earth forms of Konoha come yet? Could it be we've been tricked? Damn Sennin. Damn Akatsuki. Are you really with Konoha and the Empire? The leaders and high-ranking officials of the 4 major villages were extremely anxious. Mizukage Mai Terumi could not even bear the pressure and was ready to surrender. That's when a loud shout rang out, "Wood release, the tree realm is coming." The earth rumbled, and countless huge trees broke out of the ground, forcing back the imperial people who were madly suppressing the ninja coalition. Everyone looked in one direction. There the first Hokage, along with all the previous Hokage, Konoha's impure world tail masters, and Jiraiya, quickly rushed over. Seeing this, the powerful men from the 4 ninja villages couldn't help but smile. Finally they're here. With the first Hokage here, we're sure to win this time. It's actually the first Hokage. This is a bit troublesome. Some Imperials frowned. In some biographies of the Empire, the Great Majesty Jimmu has a very high opinion of the first Hokage, calling him someone who could have pacified the troubled times and one of the strongest men in the 1,000 years before the unification of the Empire. But aren't these guys from Konoha? Why did they run to the other side? The Imperial thought of this and turned to look at Tsunade in the ninja world. "Grandpa. Second Grandpa. Jiraiya. What are you doing? Why are you helping the people from the 4 major ninja villages?" From a distance, Tsunade from the ninja realm roared. "Ah, Suna. We are here to protect the ninja world." Senju Hashirama roared in response. Protect the ninja world. What do you mean by protecting the ninja world? Grandpa, what are you talking about? You should be on our side. Tsunade yelled. Of course, we have to stop the Empire and Konoha led by you and protect the ninja world. I've heard from little Jiraiya about the prophetic dream of the great Toad Sage. If the Empire rules the world will be completely destroyed. So, we must protect it. Senju Hashirama responded firmly. Jiraiya, you bastard. You were so well behaved before, but I didn't expect you to do this to me at the critical moment. Veins bulged on Tsunade's forehead and she clenched her fists, wanting to punch Jiraiya. I have a cold and feel weak, so I probably won't be able to update much recently. Minimum 4K 117. Chapter 116. Complete Susanoo and the Great Buddha 117. I'm sorry, Tsunade, the prophecy of the Great Toad Sage cannot be wrong. We must stop the Empire, and let's all come back together. The ninja world is our home, Jiraiya said with a serious face. I'm sorry, Lady Tsunade, I believe in the prophetic dream of the Great Toad Sage and I must save Naruto. Minato also said at this time. I don't care if your side is an empire or not. Return Naruto to me right now. Otherwise I will beat you all to death. Kushina's red hair flew as she glared at everyone in the empire. Uchiha, you are born evil. I know that you have bad intentions and want to destroy the ninja world. I can't just pretend that I didn't see anything. The second Hokage said. Damn it. Great-grandfather and second-grandfather are also. Tsunade looked at a group of Konoha's impure world forms, her face full of helplessness. Father Ninja World Kakashi stared at a certain figure. Kakashi and everyone in the Empire, thank you for clearing my name, but right now, I still hope that the people of the ninja world can continue to live here. The evil world White Fang slowly drew out the White Fang short knife. Evil Uchiha brats. Today is the day you are buried. Pay the price for your arrogance. Danzo looked at the Uchiha group with murderous intent. Humph. With this look, it seems that nothing we say will be of any use. But it doesn't matter. As the strong, explaining to the weak is our compassion. But since you have rejected this mercy, we will not be polite. The Empire sneered. Tsunade-sama, and everyone. We know that it is too difficult to make you turn against your former friends and relatives. So, please step back a little and let us handle these people. Imperial Kakashi also drew out his White Fang short blade at this time. What nonsense. Do you think you can win? Ninja World Sasuke curled his lips in disdain. Ha ha ha. I don't know if I can win or not, but just give it your all. Would release, would dragon jutsu. The first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, clasped his hands together, and a wooden dragon about 100 or 200 meters long roared out from the ground and immediately pounced on Salon in the sky. Even though the contrast between the two is huge, the wooden dragon's momentum was just as strong, and it immediately entangled Salon. Then, under the excited gaze of the ninjas from the 4 major ninja villages, Sharon's body began to slowly disintegrate, and some of the ninjas who were originally bound were rescued. Wooden release, wooden man's technique. The first Hokage roared again, the earth trembled, and a 200-meter-tall wooden man emerged from the ground, with Hashirama Senju standing on the head of the wooden man. Come on. You want to conquer the ninja world? Then defeat us. Senju Hashirama shouted with an extremely strong momentum. The other Konoha Impure World ninjas also took a step forward one by one. Whether it was the Konoha ninjas or the people from other villages, everyone was shocked. As expected of the god of ninja, you can use such a powerful ninjutsu in one move. Is this the first Hokage, the god of ninja? The first generation of cages used to compete with monsters like this. Wow, so awesome. Just one move makes me feel like I can win. No matter how powerful the Empire is, it can't defeat the god of ninja, right? People in several villages were delighted. That's really exaggerated. Grandpa's would release, but some people in the Empire are even stronger, Tsunade whispered. Ha 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 ha. A bunch of frogs in a well. Do you really think you can resist the power of the Empire? Susanoo. The Empire laughed. A half-complete Susanoo, about 60 or 70 meters tall, rose from the ground. A huge battle flag appeared in Susanoo's hand, and he waved it vigorously. Thousands and tens of thousands of souls emerged and flew towards Senju Hashirama. What an evil force this is! When the group of people saw these undead spirits, they were all shocked. As expected, you are an Uchiha-born evil. You actually use such evil power. I will not forgive you. The second generation roared and formed seals with both hands. Water release, water dragon bite explosion. A flood surged from the flat ground, and a huge water dragon rushed towards the dead souls. After the ghosts came into contact with these water dragons, they let out sharp howls, and the water dragons began to shrink at a speed visible to the naked eye. Evil old thousand hands. My ghost banner is a spiritual weapon that collects the souls of the Empire's criminals. It has the power to consume everything. Water escape is nothing more than a transformation of chakra. As long as these energies are eliminated from the root, water escape will naturally not continue to exist. Your ninjutsu is ineffective against me. The Empire laughed. Right eye glare, Saruda Hikono Makoto. The second Hokage, who was standing in place, felt the ground tremble, and then he appeared in front of Susanoo of the Imperial Satsuna. Page 121. The huge Susanoo blade condensed and slashed down on the head. Flying Thunder God technique. The second Hokage dodged. The battle between Teikoku Satsuna and the second Hokage lasted only a moment. See here. Others also took action. Kakashi from the Empire targeted Sakumo from the ninja realm, and with a flash of lightning all over his body, he charged towards the opponent. Kakashi from another world, let me see your strength. Ninja world Sakumo thought about it and also rushed forward. The moment the two sides fought, Sakumo was knocked away by the huge force. Then Imperial Kakashi gave chase, slashing around him and leaving scars all over his body. Just this one fight. Ninja world Sakumo couldn't help but curl his lips. The Kakashi in the other world is indeed very strong, much stronger than me. In this case I'll leave Kakashi to you. Seeing this, some of the Imperial world ninjas rushed forward to provide support. Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi. Return the lives of my Sarutobi clan to me. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared, and the Saruman staff in his hand continued to extend and slammed towards Sasuke in the ninja world. Shameless old thing, are you worthy enough? Ninja Sasuke roared. The fourth form of Susanoo appeared, and with a flash of light in his hand, a large shield blocked the ape demon stick. With his other hand, he grabbed the stick and was about to smash it to the ground. 5 escapes, great chain bomb. Elsewhere, 5 Sarutobi Hiruzen jumped out, using 5 different types of ninjutsu to attack Sasuke in the ninja world. The wooden man of Senju Hashirama stretched out his hand. The giant wooden dragon flew directly towards ninja world Sasuke. Hey, Itachi, what are you waiting for? Give me your strength. Shinobi Sasuke yelled when he saw that the situation was somewhat dangerous. Next moment, the terrifying chakra light shot up into the sky. The Susanoo, which was originally only about 30 meters long, began to expand continuously. 50 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters. It wasn't until it reached 300 meters that the expansion finally stopped. The 5 elements' great chain bombs hit the huge Susanoo body and were bounced away like mud and water. The huge Susanoo stretched out his hand, grabbed the wooden dragon like a loach, and then squeezed it hard. Bump! Exclamation, exclamation. The 100-meter-long wooden dragon exploded directly. Ha 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 ha, I feel it. It's this kind of power. It's so wonderful. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ants. Facing the power of God, how on earth are you going to resist? In the ninja world, Sasuke once again felt the endless power and laughed wildly. The huge wings on its back and its limbs slowly grew out, and as they swayed gently, they stirred up gusts of wind. All of Saruto by Hiruzen's clones, which were already quite close, were blown to pieces in midair. This strong wind even affected the ninjas in the ninja village several kilometers away. All the ninjas stopped fighting at this moment, staring in horror at the 300-meter-tall giant. You must be kidding me. How could an Uchiha possess such power, damn it? Could it be that rebelling against the Empire was wrong from the very beginning? Faced with this guy, even the god of ninja, I'm afraid, don't be afraid. The god of ninja has more power than just what we see before us. A group of ninjas were terrified. Only the older generation still had full confidence in Senju Hashirama. So strong indeed. The Uchiha from another world. Senju Hashirama's face was serious. Fortunately, the sacrifice this time was specially made. I wish I could exert all my strength in my lifetime. Otherwise, facing this Susanoo who is stronger than Madara, I'm afraid I would be powerless. Drink. Immortal mode. Immortal technique would release True Thousand Hands Buddha on the top of the head. Senju Hashirama clasped his hands together and let out a loud roar. The ground several kilometers below him continued to tremble. Wooden sticks broke out of the ground and pierced into the wooden man's body, causing his size to increase dramatically. At last, under the horrified gazes of everyone, it transformed into a giant wooden Buddha with 1,000 wooden arms spread out, nearly a kilometer tall. Under this giant Buddha, everyone is smaller than an ant. Just looking at this giant Buddha makes people feel fear from the bottom of their hearts. But after the fear, a group of ninjas from the village burst into thunderous cheers. We're sure to win. We're sure to win. With such a powerful ninja god here, there's no way we can lose. This is the power of the god of ninja. Once upon a time, a single person was able to pacify a chaotic world with his invincible power. The older generation of ninjas were filled with admiration. The ninjas of Konoha were also a little dumbfounded. They never imagined that the power of the first Hokage was so strong that it constantly refreshed their understanding of ordinary ninjas time and time again. In that case, the current strength of the Empire may not be enough, right? Some Konoha ninjas were worried. This is the power of the first Hokage. He is in a completely different dimension than other ninjas. With him here, there is absolutely no way we can lose. Damn Uchiha, go to hell. Saruto by Hiruzen was encouraged both physically and mentally. Another stick hit the Imperial Setsuna's Susanoo, pushing Susanoo back a few steps. Ridiculous. In this world, the bigger you are, the stronger you are. Itachi, who has the eternal eye and the existence of a weapon spirit, will not lose to a ninja so easily. The Empire roared. Susanoo swung his 4 arms, defeating several Saruto by Hiruzen and Danzo's shadow clones. Countless wronged souls screamed and even nailed some filthy bodies to the spot. 118. Chapter 117. Uchiha Madara appears. The 9-tailed beasts are obtained. 118. The arrogant ninja Sasuke's smile froze, and he looked at the Buddha on top of his head, which was much larger than his own Susanoo, with some disbelief. How is it possible that a mere ninja could possess a power stronger than the Eternal Eye? Don't be afraid of Sasuke. We won't lose. Believe in me. Believe in your strength. As Imperial Itachi spoke, he controlled the complete form of Susanoo and swung its 4 arms, slashing out 4 sword energies, cutting off at least dozens of the Buddha's arms. The arms fell to the ground, each one causing a huge shock. This woke up some of the shocked ninjas. Hurry. Run. Once these 2 monsters really start fighting, we'll be in danger. A group of people howled and began to retreat. Senju Hashirama looked at Itachi and the captured one with a serious expression. It's really powerful, stronger than Madara's Susanoo in this case. We can't hold back anymore. Drink. Senju Hashirama roared at last. Thousands of wood-release arms simultaneously bombarded the complete form of Susanoo, controlled by Sasuke of the ninja world and Itachi of the Empire. Sasuke. The Imperial Itachi roared. I know. Ninja Sasuke also roared. 2 arms were raised and a shield emerged. Boom. Hundreds and nearly a kilometer long of wood-style arms hit the huge Susanoo one after another. Amid the terrifying explosions, huge mushroom clouds rose up. The earth shook and continued to sink. The impact spread. A group of slow-running ninjas were blown away. They were like ants in a strong wind, flying around with the storm, their screams of terror being impacted but unable to be heard out. Far away, 20 to 30 kilometers away, a man wearing red ancient armor, with a group of people from the Otsutsuki organization, looked at the center of the fight between Susanoo and the Buddha with great interest. This is really exaggerated. This is the power of the legendary ninja Gotkasame. A ninja who was summoned as an impure world body was a little shocked. Ah, perfect art. It's simply perfect art. Ito Tensei Deidara looked intoxicated. The others were somewhat silent. Especially Nagato. Even with the Rinnegan, he still felt his own insignificance when looking at the battle scene in front of him. This made him doubt whether he, who possessed the Rinnegan, was really the so-called savior. Savior, why is the power of God so weak and so different from the so-called god of ninja? Even though he now has the help of White Zetsu and has recovered a lot of vitality, he still believes that he cannot defeat an enemy of this level. No, not only can he not be defeated, he will probably be crushed easily. The Uchiha from another world is unexpectedly powerful and is able to possess the Eternal Eye. But facing Hashirama, I'm still a little bit inferior. You are indeed my only rival, Hashirama. Page 122. Madara folded his arms across his chest and looked at the scene in the distance with excitement. Madara-sama, Abaido. Pay attention to Abaido in another world. If nothing unexpected happens, the Three Tails is still on him. Black Zetsu reminded. Of course, I remember our plan very clearly. Assist the legendary Rinnegan to obtain the 9-tailed beasts. Only in this way can the true power of the Rinnegan be released and gain truly invincible power. By then the whole world will be unified, and the master of the Samsara Eye will create a dreamlike perfect country. Madara, who had already communicated with Black Zetsu, smiled. It's almost time we should start. Ninja World, Abaido said at this time. Ah. Then let's take action. Spotted head. The next moment, everyone disappeared from where they were. Boom! Exclamation! The horrific impact was still raging, forcing the Empire's Abaido to give up the attack. He used the semi-complete Susanoo wings to protect himself and slowly moved back under the storm. I don't know how much time has passed. All things are attracted by heaven. A loud roar was heard. The powerful suction force pulled Abaido from the Empire and flew to the side. Imperial Abaido turned his head and frowned. It's you. Little rats of Akatsuki. Is my target this time? Because of the Three Tails. But it's not that easy to take the Three Tails from me. After Imperial Abaido finished speaking, he entered into a hollow state. But just as he entered, he saw a masked man in the Shenwei space, with another man wearing red armor and long hair, reaching out to him. All things are attracted by heaven. What? Besides the rat who stole my Sharingan from this world, Uchiha Madara is here too, and he even possesses the Rinnegan. Imperial Abaido was horrified. The Three Tails, which was originally hung on his waist like a keychain doll, was pulled away from his body and flew towards Madara. As it flew, the three-tailed beast screamed in fear, "Wow! No! Abaido, help me! I don't want to go back to that bastard Uchiha Madara. Save me!" Unfortunately, its calls were in vain. However, when it was about to fly into Madara's hands, Abaido from the ninja realm caught the Three Tails with one hand. Then it turned into a vortex and disappeared into the divine space. Abaido, you're really— Madara frowned. Upon seeing this, Abaido from the Empire immediately left the Kamui space and chased after Abaido from the ninja realm. After Abaido appeared in the ninja world, he immediately flew towards Nagato and shouted, "I successfully caught the Three Tails. Nagato, stop that guy from getting close, and then summon the Outer Path statue." Nagato looked at the Imperial Abido flying towards him, and without any suspicion he immediately blasted him with a Shinra Tensei. The Imperial Abido was afraid of Madara and the Kamui space, so he did not hello-fi and was directly blown away. At this time, Abido from the ninja world also came to Nagato and handed the three tails to him. When about to take over, Nagato trembled all over and his body froze. The white Setsu in his body is controlling him. Abido also quickly took off both of Nagato's eyes with his right hand, then took off an ordinary Sharingan and replaced it with a Rinnegan. Just as he was about to continue his action, Black Setsu had already climbed onto his body and controlled him as well. The Kamui space slowly opened, and Uchiha Madara looked at Abido with a mocking look. Abido, having ambitions is useless without power. You want to resist me? Do you have that ability? Don't forget, all the white Setsu and black Setsu are my people. Damn it, it was just a little bit off. Abido in the ninja world was angry. He kept struggling, missing Rin and trying to gain strength. But when he was halfway through his thought, in another world, Lin, who was nestled in Kakashi's arms and had a son with Kakashi, suddenly appeared in his mind. This made Abido of the ninja world pause. He felt like a man who was about to rise up, but at the moment of rising up, he was hit hard in the vitals. He withered. Uchiha Madara also took this opportunity to make hand seals, the art of reincarnation. Ninja world, Abido's reincarnation technique is activated. Then he fell to the ground. Uchiha Madara did not waste a single moment of time at this time. He directly pressed the two samsara eyes that he had seized into his eye sockets. And at this moment, the collision between Hashirama Senju, Itachi of the Empire, and Sasuke of the ninja world has ended. The 1,000 arms of the Buddha on top of the head were broken, and correspondingly, the Susanoo of Itachi of the Empire and Sasuke of the ninja world also became tattered. The ninjas of the ninja village were blown away by the impact. Some were seriously injured and fell to the ground unable to move, and some stood up tremblingly. They looked at Hashirama Senju, Itachi, Uchiha, and Sasuke in the center. Look of horror. What a terrifying power. It looks like we are evenly matched. In this case, I'm afraid it will still be difficult for us to win. The people in the ninja world were frightened. Damn it! A mere Hokage actually has this kind of power. Sasuke of the ninja world would not be happy about this. He was panting and looked unwilling. After all, he is Hashirama Senju. Even in the Empire, this kind of strength is considered to be one of the strongest. Below the 6 paths, there is almost no rival for him. It's good that we can contend with him. Few. This move of his should consume a lot of immortal power, and it cannot be used in a short period of time. After that, maybe I'll have to hand the battle over to someone else. The Imperial Itachi said. Suddenly, there was another roar and a loud shout in the distance. The heretic golem. Boom! Exclamation. The earth shook violently. A shriveled monster suddenly appeared on the battlefield. Attract everyone's attention. Imperial Abido roared. Things are not looking good. The Uchiha Madara of this world has been resurrected using the Rinnegan Jutsu and has also seized the 3 tails. What? The 3 tails was captured? How did he do that? Was it the rat? The Empire quickly flew into the sky and shouted in dissatisfaction. Madara, you're here too. That's great. Now we can fight side by side again, said Hashirama Senju happily. Uchiha Madara, the Shura of the ninja world. He is a man whose strength is comparable to that of the ninja god. Great. This time we are sure to win. The ninjas in the ninja world were overjoyed. The smile was firmly fixed on his face. Konan was the only one on the battlefield with a terrible look on her face. She looked at Nagato, who was lying on the ground with empty eyes, and shouted, Nagato. Nagato. Jiraiya also noticed this and shouted, What the hell is going on? Did Uchiha Madara take away your samsara eye? Damn it! Why is this guy Uchiha Madara still causing trouble for everyone at this time? What on earth is he thinking? Nagato is the son of prophecy. Does he want to fight the entire empire alone? This is simply impossible. Only when everyone unites together can there be hope of victory. Child of prophecy. What a ridiculous term. Did you know that this pair of samsara eyes originally belonged to Madara-sama? He just gave them to Nagato temporarily for safekeeping. When did they become his samsara eyes? Haiju laughed sinisterly, looking extremely proud. It's almost there. It's almost there. As long as Madara absorbs the Ten Tails and activates the infinite Tsukuyomi, then Mother will be able to be resurrected. Ah, Mother. I miss you so much. What? The Rinnegan belongs to Madara? Everyone who heard the news was shocked. Madara, what the hell are you planning? Hashirama also shouted, feeling something was wrong. 119. Chapter 118. Six Paths Madara. Unrivaled Power. 4K 119. You are a bunch of stupid guys cough from the beginning to the end. You have been just a part of Black Zetsu and Madara's scheme. The Jinchuriki being in the hands of the Empire is all a lie, you idiots, but it doesn't matter now. With the Rinnegan and the power of the nine-tailed beasts, Madara is impossible to stop. Now let the light of the infinite Tsukuyomi shine upon the entire Earthland. Here I come. Ninja World. Obaido fell in front of Madara and whispered. Although the sound was relatively quiet, it was still heard by some of the approaching ninjas. Among them was Minato, who couldn't help but say when he heard such a familiar voice, You are Obaido? The Obaido of our world. Ah, Mr. Minato, did you finally recognize me? That's right, I'm Obaido, Uchiha Obaido. Ninja World. Obaido said weakly. There was relief and sarcasm in his voice. Obaido Kakashi from the ninja realm also appeared a few dozen meters away from Obaido at some point, with a look of disbelief on his face. You weren't already dead? Why? I have indeed died a long time ago. What is left now is just a ghost. Now it is almost time for me to disperse. Lin, I am coming. Page 123. Obaido in the ninja world murmured and did not directly respond to Kakashi's question. You bastard, you're not dead. Obaido from both worlds likes Rin. However, Lin likes Kakashi. What does it have to do with you? Is going to Huequan annoying? Imperial Setsuna also approached, looking at Ninja World Obaido with disgust, and said something that made Ninja World Obaido break down. Cough, damn it, what nonsense are you talking about? The Lin in your world has nothing to do with my Lin. She's just a fake. Cough. Ninja World Obaido argued as hard as he could, coughing constantly. You bastard, this Uchiha who caused the Nine Tails rebellion in the world is you, right? The Empire asked again. These words made Minato and Kakashi of the ninja world narrow their eyes and look serious. Yes, it's me. Cough. Ninja World. Obaido coughed. Obaido. Why? Minato looked ugly. He wished Obaido could shake his head. At this moment, Obaido in front of him seemed so strange to him. Obaido, why did you do that? Ninja World. Kakashi took a deep breath, suppressed his trembling heart, and asked, Why didn't I already say that? Since Rin's death, the real Obaido is dead, and what's left is just a ghost seeking revenge on the whole world. Everyone in the world should go to hell to accompany Rin. Ninja World. Obaido said. Damn it! Obaido, you bastard, you're looking for death. A roar sounded. Uzumaki Naruto, with her red hair flying, rushed towards Obaido quickly, wanting to smash him to pieces with one punch. Uchiha Madara casually raised his hand and blasted her away with a Shinra Tensei. Hey woman. Don't do anything to my people. Although Obaido was a bit stupid, he even wanted to rebel against me in the end. But after working for me for so many years, I still have to leave him an intact body. Uchiha Madara looked arrogant, and his pair of reincarnation eyes were full of pride. Damn Uchiha Madara. Kushina gritted her teeth. Madara, answer me. What do you want to do? Hashirama asked again at this time. What? Of course, to bring eternal peace to this chaotic world, and to realize this wish you need power. Come, eat it and complete your final evolution. Uchiha Madara fed the three-tailed doll in his hand to the outer path statue. The entire golem immediately let out a crazy roar and began to expand and change shape. Looking at this scene, everyone was inexplicably frightened. Hey, what the hell is going on? I have a feeling something bad is going to happen. Uchiha Madara, this guy has never been a good person. I don't know what he will do this time. Some guys who know Uchiha Madara looked extremely serious. Do you understand the situation in front of you? Tsunade asked the people from the Empire. This is the outer path demon statue, the body of the 10 tails. By absorbing the chakra of the 9-tailed beasts, it can return to its original form. However, the process is somewhat cruel and requires the sacrifice of 9-tailed beasts. The Empire did not do so, but there is no doubt that once the 10 tails is restored, its power will definitely be far beyond the 9 tails. Imperial Kakashi replied. His voice was loud and was heard by a group of people. Many people's expressions changed again. Jiraiya was surprised and said, "How is it possible? Absorbing the 9-tailed beasts? You mean this weird thing in front of me has already absorbed 9-tailed beasts? Nagato, have you been lying to me before? Haha, my stupid teacher, you just realized it now." That's right, I lied to you before. We just want to rely on your strength to hold back the Empire's people and seize the last 3 tails. The 6 paths demon statue gathers the 9-tailed beasts, and the 10 tails is born. It will unlock the true power of the Samsara. I can't defeat Uchiha Madara. The end of this world is already determined, although I can't accomplish it. As long as our ultimate goal is the same, it doesn't matter. Nagato's hollow eyes were bleeding, and the white Zetsu left his body, making him even weaker. He felt that it would not be long before he would be able to see his dearest brother again. Damn it! Minato, let me go. I'm going to blow this bastard's and Obaido's heads off. Naruto, my little Naruto. How is he now? Kushina yelled, struggling. But facing the 9 tails mode, the sage-like Minato seemed particularly powerless. What happened? Of course he's dead. Without the Jinchuriki of the tailed beast, there's only one way left, and that's death. Nagato said calmly. Damn it! I'm going to kill you and Obaido. Kushina screamed. Damn it! Bye. The 4th Raikage also looked annoyed. Damn Jiraiya, damn Akatsuki, you deceived us. The ninjas from other villages glared at Jiraiya and Nagato. Madara, why? Why did you deceive everyone? What is your purpose? Tell me. Otherwise, Hashirama continued to ask, his expression becoming more and more unfriendly. Brother, shut up. The evil old Uchiha is full of tricks. You are the only one who truly believes what he says. The 2nd Hokage shouted coldly. Spot HMPH. Hashirama, you are indeed too naive. However, compared to your elder brother, you seem to be no different. You have been nothing more than a puppet in my plan from the beginning to the end. Uchiha Madara sneered. This made Tobirama look unhappy. Madara-sama, the 10 tails has matured. Please absorb its power and become the ultimate being. Black Judao. Ah, it is indeed almost time to make the next move. 10 tails transform into my power. Uchiha Madara hummed. The huge 10 tails under his feet began to drill into Uchiha Madara's body, causing his form to change constantly. Finally, it turned into a strange figure wearing a white robe, with white hair, Magatama patterns under the collar, holding a black iron stick, and several black balls floating behind him. This is such a powerful chakra. I can feel that there is a world of difference between the current Madara and the previous Madara. Hashirama said with cold sweat on his forehead. I feel it too. This posture is very unusual. The 2nd Hokage looked extremely solemn. This is the 6 paths form recorded in the Empire. It is indeed very different from that of ordinary people. This is difficult. I just don't know whether this guy's current strength is the initial stage of the 6 paths or the middle stage. If it's the beginner level, we might still have a chance if we work together, but if it's the middle level or above, then no matter how many ordinary people there are, it will be useless. Empire AI also looked serious at this time. Oh, you know this kind of posture? The other world is really strong. 6 paths forms, indeed. The beginning and the middle. Just use your strength and give it a try. The Yudo Madara said this with a proud look on his face, and with a wave of his right hand, the black Tao-seeking jade behind him instantly turned into a black sharp arrow and flew towards the Empire AI. Diguo's pupils contracted violently, and his body flashed to the side like lightning, and he managed to avoid it. You are indeed quite powerful enough to dodge one Tao-seeking jade. How about 2? As Liudo Madara spoke, another Tao-seeking jade flew out from behind him. Wherever the 2 seeking the truth jades passed, the earth was destroyed and all the trees were destroyed, which made the onlookers terrified. Quick! Attack Uchiha Madara. Don't let him continue attacking. Big Brother won't be able to hold on for much longer. The Empire's Killer Bee shouted in fear, holding 8 swords, and rushed towards 6 paths Madara. When he got close, he wanted to cut with 8 swords, but was swept away hundreds of meters by a simple blow from Madara holding the tin staff. Madara, you deceived everyone. No matter what you want to do, I must stop you. Immortal technique. Myojinman. Hashirama shouted loudly, and huge wooden doors fell from the sky. However, before they got close, another truth-seeking jade flew out and destroyed all the huge wooden doors. Hashirama, I'm really not interested in you right now. Now, I am no longer the former Uchiha Madara. I am a god. A real god. Like the sage of 6 paths. All things are attracted by heaven. 6 paths Madara swung his arm. Hashirama was sucked in by an irresistible force, and then flew towards 6 paths Madara involuntarily. Damn it! Senjutsu! Gomen! Jiraiya looked angry and spewed out fairy flames together with the 2 toads. Stop being so arrogant here, you bastard. It's just a 6 paths level existence. Do you think we haven't seen it before? Dust release, limit separation technique. Deidara from the Empire and several Tsuchikage on the other side used dust release together to attack 6 paths Madara useless. 6 paths Madara did not dodge or evade and used the Rinnegan to absorb all the attacks as they came. Impossible. In just one instant even dust escaped. The people in the ninja world were horrified. Flying Thunder God technique. The 4th Hokage and the 2nd Hokage both used Flying Thunder God and appeared behind 6 paths Madara. Shinra Tengen. The next moment, a huge repulsive force erupted. The ground within a radius of thousands of meters was lifted up, and all the ninjas who approached were blown away. All the filth was shattered into pieces of paper. A group of living people fell to the ground, some coughing up blood, seriously injured and dying, while others were missing limbs and had lost their combat effectiveness. Too strong is this the so-called 6 paths form, no human can fight against it. Onoki fell to the ground, barely raising his head and looking at Uchiha Madara at this moment. His memory could not help but go back to the scene when he first met him when he was young. No. The gap between the 2 sides is now even greater than it was then. The current Uchiha Madara is definitely not someone that can be defeated by anyone. Madara so strong. The voice of Hashirama, who was shattered into pieces, was slightly bitter. Page 124. He is indeed very strong. If this is the case, I wonder if he will attack the Uchiha of the Empire. And Sasuke, let the 6 paths sage come forward. Please make sure that Madara kills those bastards. Saruto by Hiruzen prayed in his heart. The situation is out of control now, and this is the only possibility for revenge. There are still some guys standing there. It's really an eyesore. Wheel Tomb Border Prison. Liu Daoben glared. A group of people who were still standing were knocked down one after another. Even Minato of the ninja realm was nailed by the black stick, and the last Yin Nine Tails was extracted. 6 paths Madara felt his power increase again, and couldn't help but cover his face and laugh wildly. Ha 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 ha, this is the power of the 6 paths sage. Now I am invincible. No matter who they are like ants in front of me. Ha ha ha, everyone in the Empire, please think of a solution quickly. Tsunade from the ninja world looked anxiously at Kakashi from the Empire, who was lying not far from her. It's useless. The 6 paths that Uchiha Madara achieved are far from ordinary 6 paths. Relying on our strength is far from enough. Now, we can only wait for his decision, and then wait for the real strong men of the Empire to come to support us. Imperial Kakashi said helplessly. Damn it! How could things turn out like this? Damn idiot Jiraiya! If it weren't for your stupidity, how could this happen? Shinobi Tsunade looked at Jiraiya with anger and made him face the ground, speechless with shame. Master Madara, you can now activate the infinite Tsukuyomi. No one in this world can stop you anymore. Your wish is finally coming true. Black Setsu urged cautiously, his heart filled with excitement. Ah, it is indeed time to make the final move. These guys in the ninja world are no different from ants to me. It is really boring to continue playing with them. When 6 paths Madara finished speaking, he spat out the divine tree, flew into the sky, and prepared to launch the final infinite reading at the same time. Yellow Springs Space. The 6 paths sage sat cross-legged, looking at everything in the real world, and couldn't help but sigh. I didn't expect that things would develop to this point in the other world. The Empire's people were also defeated. Now, do I need to take action myself? No, I swore before that I would not interfere in the situation in the human world. So let Ashura and Indra's reincarnation take action. No, what is that? The 6 paths sage was about to drag the soul of Naruto, who had long been dead, into his own dimension, but he discovered the Lulan dragon vein in the human world, and a beam of light shot straight into the sky. I accompanied my wife today and sent her home in the evening. After I got home, I could only update 4,000. I have to go to the hospital with Grandpa early tomorrow morning. 120. Chapter 119. Teikoku Kai vs. 6 Paths Madara. A battle to destroy the heavens and the earth. 120. Lulan, Dragon Vein. The light dissipated, and a 2.2-meter-tall, muscular man wearing a tight suit with a pair of particularly prominent thick eyebrows looked up at the shining moon in the sky, smiled, and said with relief, "Fortunately it was successful. The perfect Mingjing Shisui heart can indeed greatly suppress the fluctuations of chakra. Thanks to this, I was able to travel through time and space and come here. Well, now I should go over to provide support. I don't know what's going on the battlefield. An enemy of the 6 paths level is not something that Xiao Lai and his friends can deal with." The man finished his speech with a serious expression. After slowly exhaling, he couldn't help but shout, "Open the ghost back. Release the muscles. 8 gates of the ninjutsu. Open the opening gate, the rest gate, the life gate, the injury gate, the closing gate, the scenery gate, the shock gate, and the death gate. Drink." Boom! Exclamation, exclamation. The crimson light shot up into the sky, and all the clouds within a radius of 10 kilometers were shattered. The powerful aura of Empire Kai shook the earth as well. He pushed his feet hard against the ground. The earth seemed to have been bombarded by a meteorite, and a crater with a diameter of more than 500 meters appeared. Imperial Kai rushed into the sky like a stream of light. In an instant, we were above the clouds. Then move both feet together. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation. Its body rubbed against the atmosphere and turned into a fiery red color, like a meteor, rushing towards the distance at a speed of at least tens of kilometers per second. Seeing this scene, the 6 old men in Huangquan couldn't help but change color. Another world again, people from the Empire? This speed, this kind of physical fitness is simply impossible for ordinary people to achieve. If I don't have the seeking truth jade, even if I am in perfect sage mode, it is difficult to match this guy. What a scary guy with his strength. Maybe he can stop Madara now. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation. Liu Daoban, who was slowly ascending to the sky, suddenly heard thunder rumbling from above. When he looked up, he suddenly saw a stream of fiery red light falling to the ground. He followed the other party with his eyes, and when he saw the stream of light falling next to a watermelon rind, his pupils shrank. Another person has come and he seems to be a strong man who is worth fighting. Interesting, I didn't expect that there are such people in the ninja world. No, he may not be from the ninja world, maybe from another world empire. Lee, are you okay? Imperial Kai landed next to Imperial Lee and asked, Teacher Kai, why are you here? Empire Zio Lai said in surprise. Of course it's because I sensed my beloved disciple was in danger. Empire Kai grinned. I can't let young people with youthful enthusiasm die in a place like this. Teacher Kai. Empire Lai roared excitedly. When the other powerful men of the Empire in the distance saw Empire Kai, they couldn't help but show a hint of excitement. Empire AI muttered, It's actually this person, but with this person's strength, how could the space-time gate possibly accommodate him? Could it be that that bastard Orochimaru was trying to trick us? It's Kai. Imperial Kakashi showed a reassuring smile on his face. This made Tsunade from the ninja world and Kakashi beside her a little confused. Ninja world, Tsunade said, Kakashi, you seem very happy, but Might Guy alone should be far from being able to deal with Uchiha Madara now, right? No. Lady Tsunade, you seem to have made a mistake. The strength of Kai in our world is not that simple. Do you know that in the Empire, besides being a martial arts madman, Kakashi has another title, said Kakashi from the Empire. Another title? That's right. That's the Martial Saint. His martial arts level is currently second only to your majesty. Imperial Kakashi looked solemn. Only under his majesty? Is he stronger than the twins Naruto and Sasuke? Ninja World Tsunade was surprised. In the Empire, Might Guy rarely saw anyone doing anything other than training. But she has seen how powerful Naruto of the Empire is. The wood release he can perform at will is even stronger than that of his great-grandfather. If he goes all out, I wonder who is stronger between him and Madara, who has the power of the six paths, Naruto and Sasuke. It's hard to say, because Naruto and Sasuke have the blessing of powerful external forces and the power of cause and effect. Imperial Kakashi thought about it. Powerful external force and the power of cause and effect. Tsunade was a little confused. Set your sights on Empire Kai. At this time, Six Paths Madara had slowly descended and was staring at Empire Kai. Black Setsu, who had been hiding in his sleeves, was furious. It was almost there. Mother was so close to being resurrected. Why? This damn annoying watermelon rind came out to mess things up. Damn it. Madara-sama. Kill him. Black Setsu suppressed the anger in his heart and growled. Tell me your name. I sense an unusual aura in you. You are much stronger than the others and are qualified to dance in front of me. Six Paths Madara ignored Black Setsu and kept his attention on Imperial Kai. The Empire Kai did not respond, but flashed again and came to the side of the Ninja Kai. Ninja Kai looked up at his other strong self with a hint of surprise in his eyes. You are Eye of the Empire? That's right. My brother, your current condition doesn't look good. Haha, Uchiha Madara is really too strong. I was seriously injured with just one blow. I originally wanted to activate the 8 gates to fight him, but my current state, Shinobi Kai said, his face full of regret. But immediately, his expression became slightly serious again and he said, My brother. Have you opened the 8 gates now? Ah, that's right. Imperial Kai nodded. Although I have never opened the 8 gates, but the 8 gates is a powerful forbidden technique that burns life. The burning of youth and passion should not be wasted like this. Shinobi Kai said. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry, my brother. Although the 8 gates of ninjutsu burns life, my martial arts realm has long been able to block the unnatural loss of life. So, even if the death gate is opened, I won't die. The Imperial Kai gave the Ninja Kai a thumbs up. Brilliant. My brother. Is this the climax of youth? Ninja Kai also gave a thumbs up to Empire Kai. Teacher Kai from another world, Ninja World, Rock Lee was lying on the ground, staring at Empire Kai with burning eyes. Sensing this gaze, Digyo Kai also gave a thumbs up in response. At present, the changes happening to Empire Kai and Six Paths Madara have also attracted people from other ninja worlds. They didn't quite understand it was just an extra watermelon rind. Why did the invincible Uchiha Madara stop his actions and even look a little serious? Is this watermelon rind very strong? Page 125. Can't tell at all. You bastard. Are you ignoring me? If you don't want the right to dance, then go to hell. As Six Paths Madara spoke, the truth-seeking orbs behind him flew out one after another and blasted towards the Imperial Kai. Seeing this, Ninja World Might Guy shouted, "Be careful. Don't touch these black what? How is this possible?" Ninja Kai screamed in the middle of his words. People from other ninja villages also stared with wide eyes, unable to believe that the black ball that could almost destroy everything was actually kicked away. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, boom! Exclamation, exclamation, boom! Exclamation, exclamation. Several Dao-seeking jades were kicked thousands of meters away and smashed into the ground, creating one small crater after another. Empire Kai slowly retracted his right leg, raised his right hand, and smiled at Six Paths Madara. "Don't be so anxious, Uchiha Madara. How did you do that? Without the power of Six Paths, you shouldn't be able to resist the truth-seeking jade," asked Liudao Madara with a frown. "The Dao-seeking jade? I've heard His Majesty mention this thing before. While it's powerful, it's not invincible. As long as one's own true Kai is strong enough to cause a qualitative change, one can defend against the Dao-seeking jade." Imperial Kai Dao. Is that so, Kai? Martial arts are indeed amazing things. Six spotted head. Then, the real battle begins, Uchiha Madara. Experience the power of martial arts to your heart's content. Imperial Diamond Dragon Elephant Leg. With a loud roar, Digyo Kai appeared in front of Liudao Madara. Kick out hard with the right leg. It's really fast. Six Paths Madara was startled and raised the Six Paths scepter to block. Digyo Kai kicked at the tin staff, but before it touched the staff, a large amount of air was compressed due to the overly powerful force. The strong internal energy exploded like lightning, blasting the surrounding area for hundreds of meters as if thousands of thunders were heard simultaneously. The compressed true energy also bent the six-path tin staff, causing the 6 spots to fly backwards like a cannonball. Boom! Exclamation accompanied by this roar. Empire Kai has transformed into a stream of light and is chasing him again. He comes behind Six Paths Madara and is about to kick him back with one blow. Six Paths Madara reacted very quickly and glared at him with his samsara eye. Wheel Tomb Border Prison. Strange shadow. Look at my Imperial 7 divine feet. Digyo Kai's expression changed. However, this kick was not retracted, but divided into 7 parts and quickly pointed in 7 directions. Pen, 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 pen. 6 consecutive sonic boom clouds spread out, and the space seemed to split open with large shock waves, sweeping away the clouds for several kilometers in the sky. 6 objects that could not be seen with the naked eye were kicked away. Liudao Madara had a ferocious look on his face, and also got a chance to catch his breath at this time. Turn your right hand. Purple lightning blasted out, covering the fan-shaped area hundreds of meters in front, and the void appeared slightly distorted at this moment. Empire Kai had no way of dodging because he had just kicked. Faced with these terrifying thunders, he just roared, "Drink!" The true energy and chakra in his body burst out, blocking the thunder on the surface of his body, and then came to the top of Six Paths Madara's head again. A punch hit Six Paths Madara's head hard. Six Paths Madara fell downwards at a high speed and hit the ground. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. A huge mushroom cloud rose up. The people in the ninja village, who were more than 20 kilometers away, also felt the strong wind blowing in their faces. Many of them were blown away again. They stared at the mushroom cloud in the distance in amazement, muttering to themselves, so strong that watermelon rind just now seemed to be might guy. Should it be Might Guy from another world? Why is he so strong? Are you kidding? Uchiha Madara, who completed the Six Paths transformation, was beaten away. So the people from the Empire have been playing tricks on us. If you had known there was such a strong man earlier, why would we resist? A group of ninjas murmured with tears in their eyes. At the same time, I'm ashamed of my self-confidence and ignorance. Saruto by Hiruzen was pinned to the ground by a black stick, his face pale as dirt. It's all over. With such a strong man in the Empire, it's impossible to take revenge. Damn it. Damn Uchiha, damn Empire. Danzo also looked annoyed. Too strong, much stronger than me. Is this the real strong man of the Empire in another world? I wonder who is stronger, him or the legendary thousand-handed heavenly man. Senju Hashirama looked excited. The second Hokage frowned and said nothing. Is this the so-called martial saint? Sure enough, he is very strong. Tsunade, Kakashi, and others in the ninja world couldn't help swallowing their saliva. Pam! Exclamation, exclamation, the ground exploded with a loud bang. Liu Daoben emerged from the ground with a gloomy look. Just now, his entire head was punched into his chest. If it weren't for the immortality bestowed by the Six Paths body, he would be dead now. This made him feel extremely bad. Looking at the slowly descending Empire Kaido, you are really amazing, a fellow from another world. In the field of physical skills, you are already worthy of being called a god. God? No, I am not a god. In the whole world, in heaven and on earth, the only one who can be respected as God is your majesty. Digyo Kai shook his head. This sentence made Liudao Madara's expression even gloomier. What do you mean? Is that your so-called majesty is stronger than you? Certainly. My current strength is probably inferior to that of your majesty 22 years ago, let alone your majesty today. This gap is probably between an ant and the sky. Empire Kai said with a serious expression, admiration and respect. Let the six spotted faces turn pale. So with my current strength, it is still nothing in front of the Empire? Are you kidding me? You think I will believe it? This watermelon rind, this is a mockery, looking down on me. Do you still want to provoke me? Good. Then I will do as you wish. Damn. Immortal technique, Lan Dungyuangya. Liu Daoben had a sour face and opened his mouth to spit out a laser. Empire Kai just stretched out his hand and the laser could not penetrate into his palm. It's fast, but lacks aggression. Empire Kai commented. Don't be so arrogant. Little brat from another world. Shinra Tensei. Six Paths Madara was completely furious at this time. A powerful repulsive force exploded. Your mind is in turmoil, Uchiha Madara. Empire Kai then swung, and the repulsion wall was shattered. The figure of Empire Kai then appeared in front of Six Paths Madara, and saw that the kick was about to attack again. Six Paths Madara quickly exchanged positions with Rinnegan's clone. Oh! The next moment, Lunmu was kicked away by Digyo Kai. In the sky tens of kilometers away. Six Paths Madara roars, little devil from another world. Your dancing is good, but it's far from enough. I am the strongest now. No one can defeat me. The sky is shaking. Infinite combo. Hey, all. Accompanied by the roar of Six Paths Madara in the starry sky. One after another, at least hundreds or thousands of meteorites with diameters exceeding 1 kilometer appeared. They rubbed against the air, and their surface seemed to be burning with flames. I kept coughing last night and fell asleep at 2 o'clock. I got up at 6 in the morning to brush my teeth and wash my face. As a result, my grandpa didn't go to the hospital. I couldn't fall asleep even if I wanted to continue sleeping. I couldn't fall asleep even during my lunch break. I kept coughing and my condition became worse. I became irritable and I didn't feel like writing alas 121. Chapter 120 Dusk Night Kai vs Infinite Sky Aiding Star 121. Master Madara, stop it now. With a meteor shower of this magnitude, the world will be destroyed by you. Aren't you going to create a perfect world with infinite moon readings? Haizetsu was shocked and shouted in fear. As a filial son, he always thinks about his mother. It knew that after its mother was resurrected, it would need to turn all the people in the world into nutrients to cultivate the sacred tree. What would happen to my mother if this idiot Uchiha Madara killed everyone in the world? How concerned and upset she must be. Page 126. Unforgivable. Damn it. Uchiha Madara. Shut up. It's not your turn to question my actions. Unlimited monthly reading? Now. I just want to kill this worthy opponent in front of me. Liudao Madara roared, looking a little crazy. A meteorite shower of this magnitude could almost destroy half the world. All the ninjas who were still awake looked at the sky with despair. Ha 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 ha, what the hell is this? Impossible god, are you going to destroy this world? In the distance, ordinary people in some countries looked up at the sky and also discovered this anomaly. They watched the fiery red meteors that were rubbing against the atmosphere and falling continuously. Some people were excited, thinking it was a gift from God, and pointed and shouted, "Meteor shower! Hurry! This is the best time to make a wish." There were also some learned people whose legs trembled and they fell to their knees, muttering, "No, that's not right. This is God is angry. God wants to destroy this world. God is going to destroy the world. How could that be? It's a shooting star. A shooting star. Look how beautiful it is. Idiot. How can there be so many meteors? And you can see them clearly from such a distance. They are clearly meteorites. Meteorite. This world. It's over. The meteorite will destroy everything." Many people began to scream in fear. Within the 5 prosperous capitals, people began to howl sharply and ran around in all directions. The whole capital was in chaos. The daimyo looked up at the sky with grim expressions, and the shugonin followed closely beside them, staring at the sky with solemn expressions. "This guy Madara is completely crazy." Hashirama looked grim. "That's too much. Is Kai okay with this level of attack?" Ninja World Tsunade asked with cold sweat. "No problem, he is the martial saint. Might Kai, a man whose martial arts level is only second to your majesty." Imperial Kakashi smiled. Yes, Tsunade and others in the ninja world murmured. "I am still feeling uneasy. It is true that the strong men at the 6 paths level are too terrifying. After experiencing it personally, I can better understand the gap between Ying and them. It's really spectacular, as expected of a 6 paths level expert, but I'm not any worse. Extremely far away." Digyo Kai looked up at the meteorite in the sky, looking eager to try. He clasped his hands together and breathed slowly. Breathe boom. Exclamation, exclamation. The next moment, all of Teikoku Kai's true energy and chakra soared into the sky. Then it transformed into a blood-red dragon with a length of at least 10,000 meters. Digyo Kai was at the huge head of the blood dragon, his eyes wide open. Secret. Imperial dragon. Dusk Knight Kai. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. He moved his body and rushed straight into the sky with the 10,000-meter-long dragon. The blood-red dragon seemed to be the only light in the world. Go against the sky, little devil from another world. Shatter it under the infinite sky-shaking star. The 6 spots roared, slightly changed the direction of the meteorites and smashed towards the blood-red dragon. The two collided in midair. But it was just a moment of touch. A 1,000-meter-long meteorite will be smashed into pieces in an instant by a 10,000-meter-long dragon. Boom! 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 Meteorites continued to shatter one after another, and in an instant they burst into extremely dazzling light. But this kind of brilliance could never conceal the blood-colored dragon in the slightest. The dragon continues to advance upwards, getting closer and closer to the 6 paths Madara. Very good. Very good. That's it. Only this kind of dance can please me fully. 6 paths, heavenly superstar. 6 paths Madara roared. Hands together. The meteorites that had not yet been kicked apart in the sky quickly merged into a super meteorite with a diameter of nearly tens of thousands of meters. It smashed fiercely towards the blood-colored dragon. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, the two eventually collided. A blinding white light burst out. The violent impact storm cleared the clouds within a radius of hundreds of kilometers below. People in the ninja world dozens of kilometers away were vomiting blood and flying backwards due to the strong wind pressure. They have never felt the cruelty of the world and their own weakness as truly as they do today. Is this guy still human? As one of the protagonists of the war, he would naturally not be affected by the white light and impact. Liu Daoban clearly saw that his meteorite was destroyed. The blood-red dragon is on top. I couldn't help but exclaim in amazement. Black Setsu's face twitched even more. There was a constant roar in my heart. Mother, come on. There's a monster here. A mere human being is so terrifying. No, we can't let Madara continue to fight. If I get killed by this monster, my mother's resurrection plan will be over. Lord Madara, get out of the way quickly. Use the infinite Tsukuyomi. No matter how strong a physical warrior is, he will not be able to resist this move. Black Setsu said anxiously. Are you kidding me? Am I, Uchiha Madara, the kind of person who would shrink back from a fight? Now the real show has just begun. This is a wheel tomb. No, that's not right, the space is completely blocked. What kind of ability is this? Six Paths Madara originally wanted to switch places with Shadow, avoid this horrific attack, and fight with Imperial Kai again. But halfway through his words, he felt something was wrong and screamed. He found that the air around him was like mud and he could not exchange positions with the wheel tomb at all. Damn it! If that's the case, then this is the only way. Six Paths Madara gritted his teeth, and finally transformed all the several truth-seeking jades behind him into black shields to block in front of him. The red dragon quickly came close and swallowed the black ball in one gulp. Empire Kai's kick also landed hard on the Dao-seeking jade. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. The blood-red dragon pushed a small black ball and continued to fly in the sky. Under such circumstances, cracks continued to appear on the shield formed by the Gyudao jade, and eventually it shattered into pieces. The Imperial Kai was able to kick Six Paths Madara in the body. Wow! Wow! The Gyudao Madara bent his back and screamed as he was pushed to the ground by the blood-red dragon, and kept retreating. The capital of the Fire Nation. The crowd, which was already somewhat panicked, became even more panicked when they saw the blood-red dragon approaching. Oh my god! What the hell is this? This is the blood dragon god. He's coming to punish us. Mercy! Mercy! Great blood dragon god, please spare us! They screamed in fear. Daiming Mansion. The daimyo was sweating profusely from nervousness, and looked at the several guardian ninjas around him and said, Do you have any way to resist this kind of thing? It's impossible, sir. This is no longer something that can be resisted by human power. Even the cage of a village are nothing more than weak ants in front of this mythical monster. Damn it. Then what use do I have for you guys? Daimyo said angrily and annoyed. Daimyo, let us escort you away from here, said a guardian ninja. Hurry. What are you still standing there for? Daimyo's face lit up with joy and he spoke anxiously. A guarding nin quickly formed a seal and the daimyo disappeared into the daimyo's mansion. Appeared in a forest. Looking at the green woods. The daimyo looked dazed. The abilities of ninjas are indeed strange and unpredictable. In this way, I should be safe, right? When he thought of this, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. Where is this place? We shouldn't be affected, right? Master Daimyo, we are now dozens of kilometers away from the capital. No matter how powerful the blood dragon is, it can't pose a threat. The guardian nin's eyes were full of confidence, but when he finished speaking, his eyes suddenly widened in shock. Page 127. Seeing this, the other guardian nin and the daimyo also looked over. His face turned pale instantly. It's over. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation. Empire Kai kicked 6 paths Madara, and their bodies kept rubbing against the air, and their ears were filled with terrifying sonic booms. But even so, Imperial Kai also observed that he was flying towards the Fire Nation's capital. This could not help but startle him, and he thought to himself, that won't do. Although these people haven't joined the Empire yet, I believe they will eventually become Imperial citizens. We can't all die because of this. He immediately changed direction and fell towards the forest in the distance. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. The entire blood-red dragon head fell to the ground. The forest was instantly destroyed by the impact, and the blood-red dragon then pushed the 6 spots, sliding continuously on the ground, after a long time, until the momentum disappeared. Digyo Kai slowly retracted his right leg. He looked down at the half-dead figure with only half of his body left. He exhaled slowly and said, "What a thrilling battle. Lord Uchiha Madara. I think I will remember you forever." You cough, monster. Why a mere human can do such a thing? Ryuda Madara coughed up blood and looked at Digyo Kai with a tired face, as well as the horrible wasteland behind him that stretched for who knows how many miles with no end in sight. It was all kicked out by the guy with thick eyebrows and big eyes just now. With one kick, the ground, which was at least hundreds of kilometers long, turned into a huge crack that was hundreds to thousands of meters deep and hundreds of meters wide. In the end, who is the one who obtains the power of the 6 paths? At this time, Black Zetsu was hiding under Madara's sleeve, trembling, not daring to show his head or say even a word. I've already said it. Martial arts. Martial arts. The martial arts created by your majesty, as long as you practice it to a high level, you will naturally possess powerful strength. Teikoku Kai smiled. What a scary thing, martial arts, but do you think you won? Suddenly, Ryuda Madara shouted. Let Empire Kai be stunned. You're like this, and I still haven't won? Teikoku Kai was halfway through his words. The 6-path scorpion disappeared instantly. Digyo Kai narrowed his eyes and looked 100 kilometers away. Even though it is already smaller than an ant. But Empire Kai still locked onto the 6 paths Madara. He saw that only half of the 6-spotted body was left, and within the span of a breath, the whole body was restored to its original state. This is really unexpectedly difficult. As for the immortality alone, even in the martial arts created by your majesty, there is no such thing. It's really amazing. Uchiha Madara. Digyo Kai's eyes flickered, and the true energy in his body burned more violently far away. Above the sacred tree, 6 paths Madara looked down at Empire Kai, took a few deep breaths and laughed. You didn't expect that. I am now an immortal being. No matter how many times you destroy my body, I can be resurrected infinitely. Keep fighting. Victory will only belong to me, Uchiha Madara. Madara-sama. Quickly activate the infinite Tsukuyomi. If you continue to fight, even if you win, the entire world will be destroyed by the aftermath of your battle with him. That wasn't your original wish. For the sake of his mother, Black Zetsu bravely showed up again to remind Uchiha Madara. 6-path Madara was silent for a while, then nodded and said, You are right. Although the final victory belongs to me, if the price is to destroy the entire world, then this kind of victory is too heavy and is not what I need. Warrior from another world. Your dancing moves amaze me. I will always remember you in my heart. Now immerse yourself in the infinite moon reading. 6 paths, Madara said finally. He raised his head and looked at the moon in the sky, and the Magatama Rinnegan on his forehead glared. A strange light began to shine. The moon responded by also emitting light, enveloped the whole world. Digyo Kai's expression changed slightly. Suddenly we arrived at the place where the most people from the Empire and Konoha gathered. Release your own breath. Countless tentacles shot out from the sacred tree, capturing all those who were not covered by the Imperial Kai's true energy and turning them into cocoons one after another. Even if these people are tens of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, or even farther away. Six Paths Madara stared at the situation on the ground and laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha, is this the infinite Tsukuyomi? You actually still want to protect those guys as expected. Victory belongs to me. Just like that. Six Paths Madara didn't even notice that Black Zetsu had emerged behind him and then stabbed him directly in the chest with one hand. Liu Daobin frowned and said with some disdain, Black Zetsu, there is indeed something wrong with you, but this little trick is useless to me who has an immortal body. Wait, what's going on? Why I feel my strength draining away. My body can't move. How is this possible? When Six Paths Madara finished speaking, his expression was full of confusion. Haha, Madara, your power and everything you have don't belong to you at all. It belongs to my mother Kaguya. I am now going to take back this power on behalf of my mother's will. Black Zetsu said proudly. Kaguya, who is that? Six Paths Madara said weakly. The god who brought everything to this world. Black Zetsu said. Six Paths Madara's entire body began to swell. See this scene. The people in the ninja world couldn't understand it. What happened? Did Madara and that guy have a fight? It's already this late. Akatsuki and Madara are really not good people. Humph. This is for the best. Stupid Uchiha Madara, in the end, is nothing more than a clown. But why do I always feel something is wrong in my heart? 122. Chapter 121 Empire Kai. I'm sorry, for the sake of victory. I will borrow external forces. 122. Oh my. I feel a more powerful chakra being born. It seems that it's time to change people. It just so happens that the battle just now was not exciting enough. I hope this battle will make my blood burn even more vigorously. Teikoku Kai raised his right hand, looking excited. Just like that, in front of everyone, Six Paths Madara slowly transformed into a woman with long white hair and horns on her head. The woman was wearing a long robe and was floating in the sky. Terrifying chakra emanated from his body. It pressed towards the earth, coming into contact with the Empire Kai's Kai and chakra. Large patches of pure white lightning crackled and the air roared. Kaguya, who has obtained the perfect power of the 10 tails, appears. Mom, you are finally resurrected. I missed you so much. The filial son Haizetsu's eyes were filled with tears. He turned into a pile of black mud and crawled into Kaguya's sleeves, his voice choked with sobs. Kaguya was silent for a while before she said, Thanks a lot. Now I'm going to start collecting chakra, she said as she turned her gaze towards Teikoku Kai, the only person standing on the ground. Mother, be careful, this human is very strong, Black Zetsu warned. Kaguya's expression remained calm and unchanged, as if she didn't take Teikoku Kai seriously at all. After all, he is just a lowly mortal, not of her same clan, nor her rebellious son or grandson. What is there to be afraid of? The unique arrogance of the Otsutsuki people began to take effect. On the ground, no one recognized the woman who suddenly appeared. Someone asked the Imperials. Kakashi of the Empire frowned and said, We have never seen this woman, and she is not mentioned in the Imperial Encyclopedia. But look at her appearance, the horns on her head and those white eyes. We can be sure that this person should be from the Otsutsuki clan, and based on the information provided by His Majesty, we can speculate that this person may be the mother of the Six Paths Sage. Princess Kaguya, the mother of the Six Paths Sage. The people in the ninja world took a breath when they heard this. Does the Sage of Six Paths really exist? Didn't Uchiha Madara just obtain the power of the Six Paths? This kind of mythical and terrifying power has appeared, so the Six Paths Sage is naturally real. It's really scary. This world is so strange. People in the ninja world sighed. And some people through perception. Page 128. Absolutely certain. The mother of the Six Paths Sage. He should be much more terrifying than the previous Uchiha Madara. Thus, can Lord Kai of the Empire really still win? Someone asked nervously. Sir Kai, can you still win? I don't know. But youth cannot be easily defeated. I'm going to do it. Empire Kai shouted again. His body was like a stream of light, rising into the sky. When Kaguya saw the speed of Empire Kai, her expression finally changed. So fast, this isn't the speed a low-class creature should have. 80 divine aerial attacks. Kaguya whispered, waving her right palm. Chakra formed thousands of chakra fists and blasted towards Empire Kai. Haha, great. Look at my Imperial Iron Fist. Daytime Tiger Combo. The Imperial Kai roared with laughter. He punched with both fists continuously, also sending out a series of tiger head-shaped energy fists. Countless fists slammed together in midair, causing a terrifying explosion that directly cleared the clouds within dozens or hundreds of kilometers around. Smoke filled the air. Kaguya's vision was slightly disturbed. She frowned and opened her Baikyugen, wanting to search for the whereabouts of Teikoku Kai. Next moment, she felt the air fluctuate behind her. Turn around quickly. An iron fist has hit her in the face. Pen! Exclamation! This moment, Kaguya only felt her face sunken and a sharp pain came over her. His body was like a meteor, rubbing against the air and flying away. Mom! Black Setsu was shocked and angry when he saw his old mother being beaten. Kaguya was also a little dazed by the blow, but she reacted quickly after flying dozens of kilometers. Angry, you lowly creature! How dare you harm my noble body? She raised her right hand, locked her eyes with Empire Kai, and shot out the killing gray bone. Bone spears flew out, crossing more than 10 kilometers in the blink of an eye and arriving in front of Digyo Kai. Empire Kai was not in a hurry. He kicked the bone spear away, but was surprised to find that the true energy on his legs began to petrify. Somewhat surprised, he released the true energy and then, under Kaguya's somewhat astonished gaze, he punched her in the face again. Pen! 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 Empire Kai continued to hit continuously. Princess Kaguya was beaten violently and flew back and forth in the sky. The people from the ninja village in the distance were drooling as they watched. Isn't this person the mother of the Six Paths Sage? She is still no match for Lord Kai. Might Guy, you are the Imperial Martial Saint. Apart from your majesty, you are one of the strongest men at the pinnacle of martial arts. Isn't it natural that you can defeat the product of the old era? Imperial Deidara said with some admiration. Your Excellency Kai's strength truly amazes me. He is also a role model for us in the future of martial arts. Empire AI also praised. After joining the Empire, don't make a fuss about such things. Since His Majesty has sent His Excellency Kai here, he must be confident of victory. Other Imperial people also said. The people in the ninja world nodded in confusion. Mother! Black Setsu was in agony. Why? Why? A mere human being could beat up Uchiha Madara, but why did he beat up his mother? Mother is like a goddess. Pen! Exclamation! Another punch landed. After Empire Kai blasted Kaguya away, he stopped attacking her and frowned at the angry Kaguya. You are really difficult to deal with. Your recovery ability is several times stronger than Uchiha Madara's. I am not proficient in sealing, so it is almost impossible for me to kill you. No, I should say defeat you. Rabbit hair needle. Kaguya did not respond, but spread her hair and shot countless fine needles at Teikoku Kai. Empire Kai's figure flashed, and the rabbit hair needles kept chasing him. The earth shattered like tofu under the countless tiny needles. But this kind of thing couldn't catch up with the Empire Kai at all. After fighting for a while, Kaguya stopped attacking and glared at the Empire Kai. Low-class creature, I recognize your strength. You can leave here with your chakra. Her voice spread far and wide, reaching the ears of Empire Kai, who was more than 10 kilometers away. Okay. Empire Kai looked a little surprised. Otsutsuki, you are the type that can be negotiated with? I thought we could only fight to the death, but this way, it would save a lot of trouble. After all, I heard from His Majesty before that there are other Otsutsuki hidden in the ninja world. If we use all our strength on this one, there might be trouble. Think of this. Empire Kai quickly approached Kaguya and said, I'm afraid it won't work if I'm alone. It will be hard to report to His Majesty. Can you discuss it and let me take the people from the 4 major ninja villages with me? Digyo Kai said this while rubbing his thick eyebrows in a flattering manner. Take away the other chakra. Kaguya was stunned. Her face became distorted and angry. I spared your life out of kindness. But you actually wanted me to let go of so much chakra. This is impossible. Her voice became sharp. He waved his right hand again. Yagagami air attack. The terrifying chakra fist was swung wildly again. Empire Kai's face froze. What a scary alien woman. She's going to fight again if we don't agree on something. Empire Kai dodged helplessly one after another and then took the initiative to keep his distance. This was almost the first time that Teikoku Kai had actively distanced himself from the world since he came to this world and had been fighting with Kaguya. Black Setsu was overjoyed when he saw this and said loudly, Mom, that human is no longer able to survive. He must have paid a huge price to possess his current powerful strength, and now he is no longer able to survive. Mom is the strongest indeed. Okay. When Kaguya heard this, her face also lit up with joy. We must continue to attack. As a result, Empire Kai in the distance became a little strange. Dozens of kilometers away. She saw it. Empire Kai exhaled heavily, then raised his hands high and made a surrender gesture that looked like a universal gesture in the universe. This made her stunned. Then, boom, a force that shook the sky exploded, and a beam of light that penetrated the sky and the earth pierced through the sky and the earth. Kaguya's heart tightened, and she looked down at Black Setsu. There was a hint of questioning in her cold white eyes, as if she was asking Black Setsu, didn't you say that this human was no longer capable? Then why could he burst out with such powerful strength? Mom, this must be the dying struggle of humanity. That's right. It was the ant's last desperate counterattack. As long as he takes the next move, his strength will definitely be exhausted. Then Mom won't even have to do anything, the guy will die, Black Setsu said with a solemn vow. Kaguya remained silent, but her expression showed that she believed it a little. She did not approach rashly, but stood on the defensive far away. Empire Kai stared at Kaguya and whispered, in order to prepare for the next Otsutsuki attack, His Majesty ordered me to preserve my condition as much as possible. He even gave me a heart from his body. Just inject enough powerful energy. This heart alone has the power of one strike from your Majesty. Now let you come with me to witness the power of His Majesty. Facing this blow, no matter whether you can take it or not, I have to admit that if the battle goes on endlessly, I will be the loser. But for everyone in the Empire, I must put aside my dignity as a warrior. I'm sorry, respectable Otsutsuki opponent. When Digyo Kai finished speaking, his expression became extremely serious and sacred. A strange platinum-colored heart with a strong light slowly flew out from his body. Even though it should be just an inconspicuous fist-sized heart, at this moment it seems to be the only one in the world. It firmly attracted the attention of Kaguya, Black Setsu, the 6 paths in the underworld, and all the conscious people in the ninja world. Then, while quickly absorbing the all-encompassing power released by Empire Kai, he began to frantically absorb everything between heaven and earth. Chapter 122. In an instant, a terrible storm arose with this heart as the center, and the storm surged in a radius of hundreds of kilometers. 123. Chapter 122. The Attack of the Thousand-Handed Celestial Being. 123. Seeing this, the 6 paths sage could not help but show a look of surprise. What is this thing? It not only devoured the power of the strong in another world, but also seemed to be devouring the immortal energy of the entire human world as well as some free chakra and unknown energy. When it is fully gathered, it will probably be beyond imagination. The people of the ninja world looked up, and when they saw the storm, they were already numb. If that woman wins, we will be tied to a tree and turned into silkworms. If that man wins, we will become surrendered civilians. It doesn't matter, do whatever you want anyway, our lives are no longer in our own hands. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what ninjutsu, it's really ridiculous. In front of the real strong, we are clearly ants, no different from those ordinary people. Why did you let us see all this? I feel so powerless, I hate this feeling. The faces of the people in the Empire were extremely serious at this time. They did not expect that Might Guy, who was known as the martial saint in the Empire, came to the ninja world in person and actually encountered a difficult and powerful enemy other than the Six Paths Sage. When the two fought, they couldn't even be sure whether Empire Kai could win in the end. After all, apart from the Six Paths Sage, there seemed to be other Otsutsuki hiding here. At this moment, the moves Kai used were powerful, but what about the consumption? Even if he defeated this woman, what about the subsequent enemies? These things made the people of the Empire a little confused until buzz. Boom! When the platinum heart absorbs saturated energy. Pen, 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 pen. It seemed to come alive and was beating slowly. Every beat can touch everyone's heart. Then the light spread. Shine upon all. But this radiance makes people feel no existence, as if it is just pure light. This made the group of people stunned. So that horrifying noise just now was just for show? Kaguya frowned. There was a hint of sarcasm on Black Setsu's face. What? Pretending? I've seen this kind of trick before from ninjas before. Is this intended to make us suspicious so that we can take the opportunity to rescue people or escape? It's useless. Nothing can escape Mom's eyes. Mom is invincible. Huh? Having said that, Black Setsu suddenly felt something was not right. Hiding in Kaguya's sleeve, he keenly felt that his dear mother was trembling. Trembling? How is it possible? How could my mother be trembling with fear? No, I must be feeling it wrong. There is nothing in this world that can scare a mother. Nothing. Mom. It muttered something, crawled out of the sleeve, looked up at Kaguya's face, and then it was stunned, and the body created by yin-yang escape also began to tremble uncontrollably. What did it see? Above the sky, a giant shadow so huge that it cannot be described in words appeared at some point. This giant, with long, messy hair, an extremely strong body, and a pair of captivating eyes, just looked down at the earth calmly. It seemed as if they were right above his head, but the actual distance was at least thousands, maybe tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from them. It is so clear even though it is at such a long distance. How big is the thing in front of me? Hai looked at the man's shadow in despair and couldn't help but scream. The Emperor of the Shenwu Empire. How is that possible? Who is that? Kaguya said with some trembling. That's a human from another world. It's okay, Mom, it's fake. You don't have to care about it. It's just a fake thing. How can it cause harm to the real us? Seeing his beloved mother like this, Haizetsu felt extremely heartbroken and hurried to comfort her. Fake? No, it's not fake at all. My aura has been locked, and now I can't transfer through space anymore. Kaguya's voice was still trembling. What? Really? That's impossible. Black Setsu screamed. It saw the shadow of the Emperor in the sky suddenly raise his hand and point a finger towards them. At the same time, an extremely loud voice sounded faintly from their hearts. Great Wilderness Meteorite Finger. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation. The phantom seemed to turn into reality in an instant. In an instant, rubbing the atmosphere, brilliant sparks burst out from the entire finger, like a world-destroying planet falling. And in the eyes of Black Setsu and Kaguya, the terrifying index finger kept falling and expanding. Originally it looked only 100 meters in size, but it instantly expanded to 1,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and then tens of thousands of meters, completely covering the sky and plunging them into darkness. What the hell is going on? How can he be so huge as a human being? Why do his fingers seem to have become real? Mom! Quick! Get out of the way. Even if you can't use your spatial abilities, you must get out of the way. Black Setsu screamed in fear. Kaguya was also awakened at this time, and she suppressed the fear in her heart. She flew quickly into the distance, but the invisible shackles were like glue, covering her entire body and reducing Kaguya's speed to only a few kilometers per second. She tried to get out of the shadow's range, but the black shadow in the sky never shrank. Using the white eyes to observe, one could even see that the black shadow was getting bigger and bigger. Hundreds of thousands of meters, millions of meters until the boundary is completely invisible. Kaguya and Black Setsu stopped all actions in despair and stared blankly at the black shadow in the sky. At this time they were surprised to find that a large area of strange patterns appeared above the black shadow. No, these are not lines, they are fingerprints. Because the fingers have become too huge, they look like mountains and rivers. What is this? Damn it, God! The sky is falling. How is this possible? How can a finger be so big? The world is going to be destroyed. This time, there's no way he can be saved, right? At this moment, everyone in the ninja world was in the deepest despair. Even if they were to dream, they could not imagine the scenery before them. The Empire and Konoha recognized the silhouette of the Senju Yamato. I thought it was the thousand-armed heavenly being leading the army in person. Everyone showed a look of ecstasy. The Empire roared, "Your Majesty! It's your Majesty! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha!" I didn't expect that in the end His Majesty would take action himself. Idiots in the ninja world. Feel the power of the true God. Under this power, you are smaller than dust. You want to rebel against the Empire. You are overestimating your own capabilities. Your Majesty's divine power is invincible. Your Majesty is truly invincible. Is this the true power of the Shenwu Emperor, the Great Emperor? It's simply incredible. Ninja World. Sasuke opened his mouth. There is a thrill that comes from the soul. At the same time, he was also extremely grateful that such a powerful being was on his side. Is this the legendary thousand-handed celestial being, the Emperor of another world? As expected, he is 10,000 times stronger than me. Senju Hashirama looked up at the dark sky with burning eyes. Senju Tabarama on the side was silent, his eyes full of shock and disbelief. Even though his vision was broken time and time again, this final blow was still full of incredibleness. Revenge and such, it's simply impossible. Saruto by Hiruzen was stunned, and so was Danzo. They felt that everything they did was as ridiculous as a clown in front of these powerful people. Are you kidding? The guy that Great Toad Sage wants us to stop is this kind of monster? Even if the Six Paths Sage were reborn, he wouldn't be able to stop this kind of monster. Jiraiya's mouth was full of bitterness and he felt a little dizzy. The kingdom of hell. The Six Paths Sage's eyes were filled with horror and the corners of his mouth twitched. What an incredible power! I'm afraid my mother's crisis is about to end, but what about new crises? The giant finger from the sky was still falling, and Kaguya's face gradually changed from fear to madness. I will not die. I will not be coerced or threatened by anyone. I want to live freely. Even if it means destroying the world and eliminating my chakra, I will live. Kaguya's voice gradually became sharper. Its entire body swelled and turned into a strange white sphere. On the surface of the sphere were the heads of the 9-tailed beasts and a rabbit head with Byakugan and Rinnegan. The rabbit head looked up at the sky angrily and opened its mouth towards the sky. A Seeking the Truth jade appeared, and then quickly expanded. 100 meters. 1,000 meters. 10,000 meters. Tens of thousands of meters. Finally, it spewed out. The black sphere collided with the giant finger. Page 130. Hum! Exclamation! At this moment, the world was filled with endless light, making all living people subconsciously close their eyes. But they were unwilling to close their eyes like this and risk dying in obscurity, so they forced themselves to open their eyelids a little. Although it is still white. But I don't know when. The figure of Diguo Kai has appeared above them, and the powerful true energy has expanded. covering them. Then, a roar broke out. They found that except for the places protected by the Empire Kai's true energy, the entire land is constantly dissolving. The two feelings of fear and relief kept alternating. I don't know how long the white light lasted until it disappeared. The divine emperor who blocked out the sky and the sun disappeared, and the long-haired woman who appeared through Uchiha Madara's body seemed to have disappeared as well. The sky was clearer than ever before, without a single cloud in sight. Looking around, apart from the sacred tree and the nine-tailed beasts, all places had sunk at least hundreds of meters. They seemed to be on a flat-topped mountain. Nine-tailed beasts. How did they come out? Does this mean that the Emperor of the Empire won? Next moment, the Empire started laughing wildly. Ha 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 ha, idiot. What a complete fool. Do you really think that your tiny power can resist the might of His Majesty? The power of the six paths. Humph. In front of the Supreme His Majesty, you are nothing but an ant. Your Majesty. Long live the martial saint. The other imperial men followed suit and shouted. After reading this, you probably don't think that this is the end, right? After that, I will write some plots related to Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Many people say that Boruto, Naruto Next Generations collapsed a long time ago, but I took a look and found that it was not the case. Because most of those who said it collapsed believed that Naruto and Sasuke still had the strength of six paths level after Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. But after a careful look, I found that in Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke no longer have the power of six paths. The official statement clearly states that Naruto in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations uses the Senju mode, although many people also say that doesn't Sasuke still have the Rinnegan? This seems useless to me. Didn't Madara also have the Rinnegan before he obtained the 10 tails? A single Rinnegan is not necessarily stronger than 2 Rinnegan, right? There is also the strength of the sage fox Naruto. During the Fourth War, he was almost killed instantly by ordinary Madara without the 10 tails. This shows that Naruto without the power of the 6 paths is very weak. Even if he enters the world of Boruto, Naruto's strength will still not be very strong. The reason is simple: ordinary people have no way to break through the six-path bloodline. On this basis, I believe that Naruto and Sasuke in Boruto do not have the strength of the six paths level, and at best they are similar to Hashirama and Madara. So, when I was writing some plots for Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke were positioned in this strength category. 124. Chapter 123 Senju Yamato. I seem to have overestimated Kaguya. 124. These sounds let everyone know that the Empire had won this battle. The people of Konoha were delighted and complimented Tsunade. Great. Lord Hokage, your decision is indeed the best. Joining the Empire is undoubtedly the most correct choice in Konoha's history. Long live Hokage-sama. A group of ninjas shouted halfway. Tsunade waved her hand and said, "What's the matter with Hokage or not? From now on we are all ordinary members of the Empire. It's Hokage-sama." The ninjas of the village were somewhat dazed, mumbling, "Got saved. Is this the end? Is it really the end? The Emperor of the other world has forgiven us, so we should surrender immediately. Lord Tsuchikage, let's surrender. Lord Raikage, Lord Mizukage, you were right from the beginning. It turns out that we were the fools from the beginning to the end. We should have honestly surrendered to the Empire. Lord Kasage, surrender." A group of ninjas said to their own cage. They no longer had the courage to face the Empire. Even Senju Hashirama said, "Xiao Gang's decision is correct. Even if the Great Toad Sage predicts that the world will be destroyed, we can't resist it at all. The only thing we can do now is to pray that the Divine Martial Emperor is a good person. HMPH, what an incredible person, what an incredible power," the second generation hummed softly, unable to hide the shock on his face. The 9 rescue-tailed beasts were all very silent. They were not as active and arrogant as usual. Instead, they shrank back in fear. They suddenly realized that this group of ninjas was too dangerous. Not to mention that they were beaten and captured by members of the Akatsuki organization while they were in the bodies of the various Jinchuriki. Even when they finally entered Uchiha Madara's body, they still retained their consciousness and witnessed the previous battle. Who would have thought? Especially the guy with thick eyebrows and big eyes who actually beat up Uchiha Madara, who had absorbed all their power and possessed the eyes of the Six Paths old man, like a grandson. That's Madara Uchiha. It is a being that can treat these tailed beasts like his grandchildren and abuse them. The woman who appeared later was even more terrifying. She was the mother of the Six Paths sage, a legendary existence. The result was that he was still killed by a single blow from that terrifying phantom at the end. Horrible exclamation terrible. What's even more terrifying is they may have to live with these guys in the future. If they make them unhappy, won't they just beat them to death? Woo, the tailed beasts are so scary. Call out. A violent sound of breaking through the air was heard. The figure of Empire Kai landed. He came in front of everyone in the Empire, showing his big white teeth and giving a thumbs up. Not waiting for him to speak, the nine-tailed beasts shrank together. Empire AI said first, "Sir Kai, was it really His Majesty who launched the final attack? He was with us the whole time?" After saying this, he looked around, trying to find any trace of the thousand-armed heavenly being. It's both true and false. My last resort is the heart that His Majesty gave me before I set out. His attacks are sealed inside it. As long as you consume a large amount of true energy and chakra, you can unlock the seal and get his attack. So you can think that he took action, but in fact he himself did not come into this world. Empire Kai explained, paused and said with some shame, "I am ashamed to say this, I was sent by His Majesty to rescue everyone, but in the end I still have to rely on His Majesty's power." No, Sir Kai, you have done an excellent job. And thanks to you, we can witness Your Majesty's power with our own eyes. In the past 22 years, Your Majesty's power has obviously made great progress. This further proves to us the infinite possibilities of martial arts. Imperial AI Dao. Yes, martial arts has infinite possibilities. We still have a long way to go, Empire Kai said. His whole body was glowing with golden light, which shone on the Imperial people. The wounds on their bodies healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, and they became full of life in no time. They then began to treat the people of Konoha, and after the treatment, the Konoha ninjas went on to treat people from other ninja villages. In this Ninja World War, there were originally at least 20,000 surviving ninjas. Now more than half of them have died in the battle. 10,000 people died. In fact, more than 80% of them were not killed in conflicts with the Empire, but some were killed by Uchiha Madara. Some of them were killed in the aftermath of the battle between Imperial Kai and Uchiha Madara and Kaguya-hime. After everyone had been treated, they gathered together with complicated expressions on their faces. They all sat cross-legged on the ground, like good children, looking obediently at the people of the former empire in the center. The Imperials just opened a strange thing, and then the man who was just in the sky appeared. The moment I saw this man, all the people in the ninja village were afraid to breathe. All the Imperial people bowed and saluted the man, then reported the matter. After listening to this, Senju Tianren nodded thoughtfully and said, "Kai, you did well, but the attack I launched with the power of you and this world did not destroy Kaguya. Her body is now scattered all over the world. As long as there is enough time, she can still be resurrected." Resurrection? They were completely destroyed. How could that woman be resurrected? What level of immortality is this? Empire AI was a little surprised and felt that the other party was a little outrageous. The immortality of the Otsutsuki clan is indeed extraordinary. This is also what makes them difficult to deal with. It is their advantage over us. After all, as humans, our bodies are very fragile. The thousand-armed heavenly being said this. I couldn't help but think of the news about Otsutsuki in Boruto that I saw in my previous life. Ishiki, Kaguya's boss, seemed to have been killed in a sneak attack and was finally resurrected with the help of other people's bodies. Is it not normal to be beaten to dust and reborn? Page 131. As for immortality alone, he currently does not have the martial arts to reach this level. But isn't this Kaguya-sama a little too weak? She couldn't even take my attack, in his own world. For safety reasons and for fear of destroying the Empire's flowers, plants, and trees. He has never brushed this thing. And through this battle compare with the Six Paths Sage. Senju Avatar did not feel that Kaguya's strength was above that of the Six Paths Sage. This made Senju Tianren recall the details of the original work and start to speculate. In the original work, Naruto and Sasuke of the Six Paths were no match for Kaguya in head-on strength, and finally they used the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei to seal Kaguya. Therefore, the gap in strength between the two sides is not too big. And where does this power come from? If I remember correctly, it was given by the Sage of Six Paths. Think about how strong Naruto and Sasuke were before they obtained the power of the Six Paths Sage. At that time it seemed that he was killed instantly by Uchiha Madara, who did not obtain the power of the Ten Tails. Killed instantly by Uchiha Madara, who was not at the Six Paths level. This is the strength of Naruto and Sasuke without the power of Six Paths. Both sides are in the Fairy Fox state and the Eternal Eye state respectively. With the blessing of the power of the Six Paths, Naruto activated the Six Paths mode and Sasuke activated the Six Magneto Rinnegan. Then Naruto gained the power to suppress One-Eyed Six Paths Madara alone, and his strength made the leap from earth to sky in one go. In other words, if the Six Paths Sage didn't share his power with Naruto and Sasuke, couldn't he seal Kaguya himself? This seems uncertain. The power of the Six Paths of Yin and Yang were bestowed upon the two of them by the Six Paths Sage. From this we can see that the power of the Six Paths Sage is actually not weaker than Kaguya, and he is proficient in sealing techniques, so he can restrain Kaguya. Therefore, it is understandable that she is not weaker than Kaguya-hime. After all, the Six Paths Sage has grown over 1,000 years since he was created by Kaguya. Compared with thousands of years ago, it is naturally incomparable. I had never thought about this relationship carefully before, and was still thinking about how powerful Kaguya was, but the result is just this. It seems that I was too cautious. However, when facing the Otsutsuki aliens, it is always better to be cautious. Who knows how powerful this cosmic race is? Your Majesty said so. The people of the Empire agreed with the words of the thousand-armed heavenly man then. The Empire looked at the people of the ninja world with a sinister look and said, "Your Majesty, these guys went back on their word. Do you think they need to be punished?" Senju Yamato did not respond, but just cast his gaze calmly at the people from the 4 major ninja villages. These guys felt their scalps tingling, their bodies trembling, and they suddenly lost control of their bodies. Even the elite Chunin, Jonin, and Kage of each village are no exception. Only those filthy earth bodies can move freely because of their special physique. The second Tsuchikage was so frightened when he saw the living people in the village that he shook his head and was about to stand up and say a few words. But this time, the third generation Anoki bit his tongue first, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. He used the pain to get rid of his fear of the Senju Yamato, and stood out from the crowd and said, Your Majesty, please forgive us all. All of this is caused by Jiraiya's lies and my indecision. If you want to punish me, this old man. I am willing to bear the consequences. Please let us go, he said as he fell to his knees, his forehead touching the ground. That's right, it's all my fault. Please punish me, Your Majesty. The others are all innocent. Jiraiya did not make any excuses for himself, but admitted it directly, also kneeling down. Your punishment will be drawn up by the criminal law department later. Next, everyone prepare to evacuate. This world is no longer suitable for human habitation, so prepare to move to the Empire. Also, remember to bring the souls of Uchiha Obito, Uchiha Itachi, Sarutobi, and Danzo to the Empire. Their punishment is not over yet. The thousand-handed heavenly being did not focus his attention on the two old men. Your will, your majesty, the Imperial said respectfully. All right. Don't think you can sit back and relax just because you come to the Empire. There are also enemies in our empire that we must defeat. I hope that after you come to the Empire, you can work harder to improve yourselves and serve the Empire. Understand? The Senju Yamato looked at the people of the ninja village and said, What? Such a powerful empire still has enemies. How is this possible? People in the ninja village era were confused. They had just witnessed with their own eyes how powerful the people of the empire were, and they really couldn't imagine what kind of existence could rival them. Could it be another empire from another world? Someone guessed. No, it's the Otsutsuki clan. Empire Kai gave them a thumbs up. The Otsutsuki clan? What is that? The people in the ninja world looked confused. The woman I defeated in the end was Kaguya-hime from the Otsutsuki clan, said Senju Tianren. The people of the ninja world took a deep breath. The Otsutsuki clan, the clan apart from that woman. Are there many such people, or even stronger ones, in that clan? Of course, this is also why the Empire has to be on guard against them and even fight against them. The so-called Otsutsuki clan is a clan that can cross the universe and invade and plunder other weak worlds. There are countless strong people like Kaguya in the entire Otsutsuki clan, and there are even stronger ones too, so we must deal with them with all our strength. This is also why I don't want anyone to use force against you from the beginning, because we are all, essentially, in the same boat. But unfortunately, persuading surrender is always more difficult than expected. People cannot grow without going through some things. I have a deep understanding of this. Thousand-handed celestial being. A group of ninja people showed expressions of realization and shame. Even some people like Teikoku AI and Kasama showed awkward smiles. Obviously, they had resisted the unification of the thousand-handed heavenly beings before, and only became obedient after being beaten up. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, we misunderstood you. Your Majesty is so great, but we use our petty minds to measure such a great existence as you. This is really too much, the people of the ninja world said with shame. It's okay, I don't care about that. After the thousand-armed heavenly being finished speaking, his shadow disappeared. Everyone began to act according to the thousand-handed heavenly man's instructions. Not a moment. Jinchuriki, Obito, Itachi and others came out of the impure world again. Open your eyes again. Looking at the familiar yet unfamiliar world and the people from various villages gathered together. Several people were dumbfounded. What made them even more dumbfounded was some people at the forefront. Naruto looked at Minato and Kushina in a daze. Kushina immediately ran to him, hugged him and cried, Naruto. Mommy's Naruto. Wah. It's all because of that bastard Sarutobi Hiruzen and that idiot Minato. If it weren't for their incompetence, Naruto, you wouldn't have to become a Jinchuriki, and you wouldn't have to die like your mother. Wah. Mom. You are my mom? Naruto said somewhat stupidly. That's right. Naruto. I am your mother, your real mother in this world, Kushina said. Mother Naruto's heart was throbbing. He gently hugged Kushina and muttered, It's great that I can see my mother after going to hell, but why are there so many people here? Are they all dead? 125. Chapter 124. The ninja world is incorporated into the Empire. 125. Humph. Stupid Naruto, except for you dead impure world forms. Everyone here is alive. A familiar shout was heard. This caused a look of surprise to appear on Naruto's face. He looked in the direction of the sound and shouted, Sasuke. Are you my Sasuke? He seemed a little too excited, so much so that he spoke less and his sentences became problematic. The group of people who heard it looked strange. Damn Naruto, he really has no good intentions. I was wondering why you were so eager to find Sasuke. Turns out you like him. Damn it! Ino shouted angrily. Page 132. Sakura's forehead was covered with sweat. Like Sasuke? How is that possible? They are both men. Men can love each other too. Xiaoyang, you haven't read those true love stories, right? And don't forget, Naruto and Sasuke's first kiss was given to each other. Ino said angrily. Hearing this, a group of people couldn't help laughing. Others stared with their eyes wide open, looking like they were eating melons. Kushina and Minato's expressions changed, and they looked at each other, seeing helplessness in each other's eyes and a hint of compromise. Forget it, let's just be gay. After going through so many ups and downs, this doesn't seem to be a big deal. Sasuke's face twisted. He glanced at the Imperial Itachi beside him who looked upset and yelled, "What were you bastards thinking?" This was clearly just a slip of the tongue by that idiot Naruto. And the kiss and stuff. We were confronting each other, and an idiot pushed Naruto, and that's why damn Sasuke. Who are you calling an idiot? Naruto roared. Of course it's you. The idiot was tricked out of Konoha by a fake Abaido and ended up losing his life. Sasuke roared back. What? Naruto was stunned for a moment, then smiled with embarrassment and said, I didn't expect that the Abaido in this world would actually pretend to be brother Abaido. I am also responsible. If I had focused more on you at that time, those guys from the Akatsuki organization would never have been able to attack you. I'm sorry, Naruto-chan. Imperial Abaido was slightly apologetic. Idiot. Sasuke cursed again in a low voice. The Empire suddenly said, That's right, Naruto-chan. Do you know that Abaido in this world is the murder of your parents? What? Naruto was stunned again. The Abaido in this world is the murderer of his father and mother? He turned to look at Minato and Kushina in confusion. It's this bastard. He released the 9 tails when I was giving birth, Kushina said with hatred on her face. Then he smashed Abaido's head with one punch, as he was forced to stand there as punishment after being released from the impure world rescue. It is indeed Abaido. Minato also nodded with a complicated expression. Why would our world's Abaido do this? Naruto looked at Abaido, who had recovered, with a puzzled look on his face. If I remember correctly, my parents are Abaido's teacher and teacher's wife. Killing the teacher and his wife. How could someone do such a thing? Ninja World Abaido looked grim and couldn't say anything at this time. Humph. It's because that loser felt that Nohara Lin was dead and wanted to take revenge on the whole world. The Empire momentarily despised. This kind of rubbish doesn't even think about what kind of person he is. How could Nohara Lin like him? Compared to him, Kakashi is much better. He also wished to avenge the world for Nohara Lin. Don't you think that the girl needs him to do this? You are such a useless and disgusting guy. Shut up, you don't understand. Lin doesn't like Kakashi. Ninja World Abaido was furious. This anger even allowed him to slightly break free from the constraints of the divine world and roar softly. Humph. You were also behind the annihilation of the Uchiha clan in this world, right? The Empire asked again. Humph. Abaido from the ninja world simply snorted coldly, but the raised corners of his mouth spoke volumes. Pen. There was another roar. Ninja World Abaido's head exploded. It turned out that it was Sasuke from the ninja world who took action. He raised his right hand high, and a Chidori spear pierced through the head of Abaido, the ninja world, and released lightning to explode it. Looking at the slowly recovering head of Ninja World Abaido, Sasuke smiled grimly and said, It seems that you are a scumbag like Itachi. To deal with this kind of scum, we must target its fatal weakness. Elder Shanna, I have an idea that will definitely make this guy live in regret and despair forever. Oh, tell me about it. If it's appropriate, I will strongly support you. Shanda's eyes lit up. Others also showed some interest. Hehehe, maybe we can revive Rin and have her marry Kakashi. And Obaido will be a statue and witness all of this, how about that? Sasuke said. Oh, that's a great suggestion. His eyes lit up in an instant. Hearing this, Obaido's eyes almost shed tears of blood, and he gritted his teeth and said, you dare to kill your own relatives, teachers, and teacher's wife. What am I afraid of? Sasuke scoffed. That's a good idea. Kushina also smiled and clapped her hands. Kakashi from the ninja world said nothing, but his eyes revealed a hint of expectation, a hint of nostalgia, and a hint of embarrassment. Your attention is still not enough. How about this? When Kakashi and Rin enter the bridal chamber, we make Obaido into a statue and let him see it to his heart's content. Based on the Intimate Paradise series by Master Jiraiya, we can know that what men find most difficult to tolerate is probably seeing their beloved woman having with another man. It has also been called the ultimate humiliation for men. Imperial Deidara smirked. What he said made a group of women blush and a group of men speechless. Ninja World Obaido was so angry that he was shaking all over, and the face of the impure world couldn't stop turning red. Asshole, I will kill you, kill you. He roared to the end, and even temporarily broke through the restrictions, gained the qualifications to act, and rushed towards Imperial Deidara. Unfortunately, just after taking a few steps, he was immediately fixed in place. He could only stare and glare at Imperial Deidara at this time. Imperial Obaido's expression turned ugly and he couldn't help but shiver. If you put yourself in their shoes, you would imagine yourself being targeted like this. I guess I want to die. It's simply the ultimate humiliation among the ultimate. Interesting suggestion. I'll make a note of it. The Empire laughed. Then he turned his gaze back to Naruto and said, the Obaido of this world is a sinner and enemy of the Uchiha clan, and also your enemy, so we have the right to punish him together. Waiting to return to the Empire, you can think carefully about how to punish this bastard. Return to the Empire resurrection. Can a dead person be resurrected? Naruto said in surprise. But I immediately thought of Gaara. Then he said nervously, will someone need to be sacrificed to revive me? I don't want anyone to sacrifice their life for me. Of course sacrifice is required, but this sacrifice can be transferred through certain means. Therefore, the Empire will use some criminals to complete this technique. The Empire said in a flash. Naruto's expression finally improved when he heard this, and he grinned and said, thank you, Elder Setsuna. You are such a good person. Good guy? A strange name. This is the first time I've been called a good guy since I was a child. Empire moment looked strange. Then he smiled wickedly and told Naruto some dirty things done by the third Hokage, watching Naruto's changing expressions with interest. Third generation grandfathers, everything Elder Setsuna said true. Naruto looked at the third Hokage with a complicated expression. The third Hokage of the impure world reincarnation felt guilty towards Naruto. He opened his mouth but didn't know what to say. Now he is surrounded by a group of people who hate him, and no matter what he explains, he will always be refuted. Instead of this, it is better to remain silent. Looking at the silent third generation, Naruto smiled bitterly. I didn't expect Third Master Saruto by Hiruzen that you are such a person. As for my own experience, I don't blame you. But you, along with others, killed Kakashi's father and Sasuke's family. I cannot forgive you. I am sorry, but the governance of Konoha requires more than just mercy. The Uchiha at the time the third Hokage couldn't help but speak in the end. But before he could finish his words, Sasuke interrupted him. Shut up, old bastard. Just keep talking about what happened at that time. Page 133. If it weren't for your coercion, would the Uchiha have fallen to that point? Facts have also proved that the Nine Tails Rebellion at that time had nothing to do with our Uchiha clan. It was all because of the traitor Obaido. At that time, he was no longer a member of Konoha. He was no longer a member of the Uchiha clan. Saruto by Hiruzen sighed. Who could have thought of this? Killer Bee, who came out of the Impure World relics, was also surrounded by the Ninja World AI and the Empire AI brothers and chatted for a while. Finally, Kakashi looked at the nine-tailed beasts. The nine-tailed beasts shuddered in unison. Human brother, what can I do for you? Yabai, who has a very good relationship with Killer Bee, spoke first and in a very friendly manner. I want you to do me a favor. Imperial Kakashi said. Whatever you need, just tell me. Baiki and I are very good friends. I would like you to return to the body of the Ten Tails first. What? Go back to the body of the Ten Tails? Do you know how uncomfortable it is to stay in a place like that? Damn it. This is too much bullying of the tailed beasts. We are the tailed beasts. We are not that easy to bully. The nine-tailed fox, one-tailed fox, five-tailed fox, all of which had hot tempers, all stood up and roared first. If it had happened in the past, he would have spat out the tailed beast ball long ago. But now you're just shouting and talking, fighting? Are you looking for death? The two-tailed beast was not as bold as the three-tailed beasts. Instead, it shrank its head and said in fear, Don't say that. Let's talk it out. But returning to the body of the Ten Tails is really too much. It's like being completely locked up by chains, with no room to move. Put yourself in their shoes. If you were treated like this, you wouldn't be able to accept it, right? As it said this, it blinked its big watery eyes, trying to act cute. Hey, Kakashi of the Empire, Hachai is my most important friend and a member of the Hidden Cloud Village. You can't treat him like this. Killer Bee of the Ninja World also helped. Don't worry, the return to the Ten Tails is only temporary. It is to use its huge space-time particles to transport us back to the Empire. Once the mission is completed, we will naturally separate them, Kakashi explained. Hearing this, the nine-tailed beasts all breathed a sigh of relief. There was no resistance. He was stuffed into the body of the Ten Tails by the Imperial people and then returned to the Empire with the help of the power of the dragon veins. Although there are many people in the ninja world, their overall strength is very weak. The people of the Empire, who traveled through time and space, do not need to consume extra space-time particles when returning. Therefore, it only took one journey to return from the ninja world to the Empire. Huiquan. The Six Paths sage looked at the empty ninja realm and sighed silently. This world is over for the remaining people. It will probably take hundreds of years to restore their former prosperity. I can't stop the people from the other world with my own strength, but are the things they said before true? Otsutsuki aliens? The Six Paths sage then fell into deep thought. Empire. Dragon Vein Fortress. People from the ninja world appeared one after another in an orderly manner. The person in charge of the reception arranged for people from several large villages to board the airship. The village of Cloud is heading to Thunder Province. The village of Iwagakure is heading to Mountain Province. The village of Kirigakure is heading to Water Province. The village of Sand is heading to Green Oasis. And Konoha is heading to the imperial capital of Fire Province. In the tall airship, the people of the ninja village who were riding this high-tech vehicle for the first time were touching it here and there, and kept muttering something. The sudden words of the smart butler made them exclaim in amazement, as if they had learned a lot soon. The people from Sunagakure arrived at their destination, the capital of the oasis, the city of tomorrow. The huge airship slowly descended. The hatch rises. The people from Sunagakure walked out. After coming to the outside world, everyone was stunned one after another. All I saw was the entire oasis capital, the city of tomorrow. There are many metal-cast buildings. Above the sky, there are mechanical puppets and flying bird puppets wearing exoskeletons. There are also many floating islands. It makes people feel like they have come to a beautiful fantasy world. Welcome back, Gaara, and all the brave warriors. And new companions. Liu Sha, who had wine-red hair and looked quite young and strong, spoke to the people who had just got off the airship. Father Gara from the ninja world looked at Rasa from the Empire and couldn't help but murmur. He's very similar to the father in my memory, but much gentler and stronger, Temari muttered as she looked at Teikoku Rasa. It seems that even in this world, our father is an important figure. Kankuro smiled. The other sand ninjas showed a hint of excitement on their faces. Dandem-sama. You should address him as Lord Green Governor. The title of 4th generation will be discarded when you step into the city of tomorrow. A gentle voice also sounded at this time. It makes people look sideways. You are the scorpion of the red sand. Kankuro looked at the person who was speaking and said with some fear, My name is Scorpion, but my surname is not Keisha. Scorpion said gently, You look very different from the ones we have. Kankuro looked up and down at Scorpion in front of him. He looks full of sunshine, and wearing a white coat and gold-rimmed glasses, he has a gentle and refined feeling. 126. Chapter 125 Half a Year. Harvesting the Ninja World. Ninja World 1 style appears. 126. Our Scorpion is the most outstanding doctor of mechanics in the entire empire. The knowledge in the ninja world is poor, so naturally, it is impossible to cultivate such an outstanding Scorpion, said Imperial Yi Kang, who was following behind Scorpion. She was wearing a tight-fitting Imperial Guard uniform, with a curvy figure, looking very young and beautiful. Hero Yi Kang. Kankuro raised his brow. I am Yi Kang, the head of the Green Oasis Guard Department. Yi Kang smiled and nodded. This outfit suits you very well, Kankuro praised. When the others saw Yi Kang of this world, they also smiled. They saw the beautiful side of the world from the living Yi Kang. At least there shouldn't be as many dark sides as in my own village that are not presentable. Let's go. Go to the household registration office and log your information in. That way, you will be real citizens of the Empire. After that, let's have a party to welcome our new partners. Imperial Temari waved her hand and shouted in style. Thank you for your help, Gar replied, his eyes scanning over the Empire's Rasa, Hagura, Sasori, Temari, Chio, Abizo, Maki, and a group of unfamiliar faces. From now on, he will be one of them. Liju. Lake High Mountain City. A group of cloud-hidden warriors looked at the metal buildings in the clouds on the huge flat-topped mountain with shock. Hey, welcome, brothers and sisters from another world. From now on, we are a family. The third Raikage, wearing a vest, brought a group of men and women, all over 1.8 meters tall, with well-developed muscles and strong bodies, to welcome the people of the Hidden Cloud Village. Looking at so many strong men, the people of the Hidden Cloud Village in the ninja world couldn't help but feel scared. Why is the Hidden Cloud Village in this world so weird? The men are almost all over 1.9 meters tall, and the women are over 1.8 meters tall, and their muscles are so well developed. Look at those arms and thighs with bulging veins that look like earthworms. Although Union, as expected, likes to exercise his muscles. But why even women are like this? The beauty of our Hidden Cloud Village shouldn't be like this. Look at our Samui, with big wavy blonde hair, a thin waist and long legs. Look at your Samui again. Her face is still the same, but she is 1.85 meters tall. Her figure is the same as a man's. Oh, no. Is this still our Union beauty? Come on. What are you still hesitating and dawdling about? Come and sweat together. Let's exercise our bodies to become strong. As a Liju native, you can't be too weak. The third generation of the Empire's AI hugged the bodies of Ninja World's AI and Killer Bee and left. The two were like little children in the hands of the third generation of the Empire, and were completely unable to resist. Other Liju people also enthusiastically embraced the Union people with their uncovered hot arms and left. Even though everyone in Kumagakure looked constipated. Water State. Page 134. A paradise on water. The people from the Hidden Mist Village who had just got off the airship couldn't help but look surprised when they saw the buildings built on the water, the continuously spraying spring water, and the people swimming in the water. The hidden mist village in this world is actually unexpectedly open. Welcome to the world of water, everyone from another world. The water surface parted, and the governor of Water Province, Terumi Mei, looked at everyone with a smile. Mei Terumi of Kirigakure looked at the pool full of beautiful men and swallowed her saliva. Sure enough, joining the Empire is the right choice. This place is simply heaven. I can definitely find a handsome guy to marry here. Mountain State. The airship landed in a huge hole in the ground. The people of Iwagakure were somewhat dumbfounded when they saw the villagers living in houses built with mud. What's going on? Why the Iwagakure village in this world seems to be even more backward than ours. It wasn't like this in Lulan before, haha. This is just to let everyone feel the breath of the earth better. The most important thing for us Senju people to practice is to feel the energy of the earth. Come on. Everyone, come quickly, don't just stand there. An imperial onoki, whose face was at least 20 to 30 years younger than the ninja world's onoki, came with a group of people. Take the people from Iwagakure village away. Hyuju, the imperial capital. Naruto, Sakura, Yamato, Tsunade, Kakashi and others who came here again were filled with emotion. This time they are real imperial people. The entire empire became much more lively due to the arrival of people from the ninja world. Many people who had not been dead for long or whose bodies were well preserved were resurrected one by one. For example, Naruto, Minato, Kushina, Rin from the ninja world, and the people of the ninja village who died when the Imperial Kai fought against Six Paths Madara and Kaguya. They happily plunged into their new life. As for Abido of the ninja world, Itachi of the ninja world. In a dimly lit room, Abido from the ninja realm was tied to an iron chair with steel cables, his eyes constantly dripping with tears of blood. He looked haggard and his eyelids were forced to be pulled up as he stared at the video in front of him. In the video, Kakashi and Lin from the ninja world are lovingly holding hands and strolling on the bustling streets of the imperial capital. Soft and gentle voices were heard from time to time. Lin, me look so different now, is it really okay? It's okay. On the contrary, I like the current Kakashi very much. He has an uncle vibe and looks much more mature and stable. It has a kind of uncle's flavor. I wouldn't mind marrying Kakashi like this. But I always feel something is weird. It's not strange. I've asked many people in the Empire, and an age difference of 10 or 20 years is not a problem at all. With your talent, Kakashi, you will surely become an outstanding warrior in the future. In another 10 or 20 years, you may look younger than me. Just don't look down on me for being old then. Lin Kakashi as they talked, their bodies moved closer. No, no, no. This is not true. Damn Kakashi. You killed Rin. You don't deserve Rin's love at all. Ah. Abido struggled in pain, but his head and eyes were fixed tightly, so he could only watch this heart-wrenching scene. And when he was extremely tired and needed to rest. As soon as you fall asleep, you will enter a dream. Like a shadow in his dream, he could only watch as Kakashi pressed the petite Rin onto the bed, which instantly woke him up from his dream again. Another place. Bloody sky, bloody earth. Itachi in the ninja world could not control his body and stabbed his begging father, mother, and beloved brother to death one by one. Listening to their desperate wails and screams, his mind gradually became dazed. He felt like he was in hell in the Empire. Everyone started a new life. And some beings continue their punishment. Time passes quietly like running water. Half a year passed quickly. With enough space-time particles, Senju Amaru finally passed through the space-time tunnel and arrived at the long-ruined ninja world. Standing on this land, the thousand-handed celestial being planted a sacred tree that had been improved by the Empire. The saplings absorbed nutrients from the entire planet, rose from the ground, and soon grew into towering trees. The giant tree absorbs the chakra of the entire ninja world, various spiritual energy, etc., and continues to grow. The 6 immortals in the underworld were all alarmed. He looked at the sturdy man in front of the giant tree, his pupils contracted. It's him, the guy who defeated my mother in the end as expected. His final target is also the ninja world. This is bad. If we face him head-on, even if Hamura and I join forces, I'm afraid we won't have much chance of winning. But for the sake of the ninja world, the Sage of Six Paths, hesitated. I don't know when. An old toad appeared behind him and said, "Surrender, Hagoromo. There is no way you and Hamura can defeat this man." Toad Pill. The Six Paths sage turned his head and looked at the big toad behind him. "My old friend, what did you see in your prophetic dream? Why did you let that little friend named Jiraiya rebel against the Empire, and now you want me to give up resistance?" My old friend, I originally wanted Jiraiya to give up resistance, but unfortunately he died before he could finish his last sentence. Jiraiya misunderstood and led the people of the ninja world to resist that man. You saw the final results. The old toad shook his head and sighed. Fortunately, the final result was not bad. Is this really the case? The Six Paths sage was speechless. That kind of power is not as strong as Kaguya's in her prime. You and Hamura can't deal with him, and don't forget, there is a man named Might Guy behind him, who is also extraordinary, said the old toad. Are we just going to watch the ninja world come to an end like this? The Six Paths sage frowned. If you can't resist, just accept the reality. The only thing you can do now is to take Huinquin's people to another world. The chakra and spiritual energy of this world have been extracted. The entire underworld will dissipate, and only by going to another world can we avoid extinction, said the old toad. What you said makes sense, but wait, that is the Six Paths sage stopped talking suddenly in the middle of his words at the same time. In a cave in the ground, Jaijin, who was possessed by Ishiki, was originally quietly enjoying a glass of red wine, but suddenly he felt that the chakra and spiritual energy of the whole world were rapidly fading away. This made him frown. What's going on? Why is the chakra fading so quickly? This is a bit unusual. I hope it will pass quickly like before. Ishiki frowned and waited slowly. As a result, after a while, the chakra did not disappear like it did half a year ago. Instead, it became increasingly scarce. No, it's very wrong. I have to investigate. If I let the chakra continue to fade away, it will be very disadvantageous to me. But if I do this, I might be discovered by that bastard son of Kaguya. In my current state, I might not be his match. What a tricky problem. Ishiki hesitated for a long time. Finally, he could no longer bear the reality of his chakra fading, so he used the little Viguna to shrink himself and quickly disappeared from the cave. Come to the outside world. Looking at the devastated scene, I was secretly surprised. What's going on? Even if the chakra of this world has faded, it shouldn't be like this. It seems like there was a terrible battle here. Is it because of half a year ago? Did my companions come here and fight with that bastard son of Kaguya? And when? So you are planting the sacred tree now? Damn it! We can't let them succeed. I was the first one to discover this planet. When he thought of this, Ishiki became a little anxious. He flew quickly towards the center of everything. Soon, a towering tree and a human man appeared. A human man of a lower species? Could he be a subordinate that my fellow tribesmen have subjugated? Are those guys hiding now, trying to lure me out? Ishiki was filled with doubt and shrank his body, moving quickly around the area, hoping to find his fellow tribesmen. However, he searched everywhere but could not find anyone, which made him even more puzzled. Still nothing? Is he hiding in another dimension? Trying to lure me out? Feeding him to the sacred tree? This is bad. Ishiki was hesitant unconsciously. But then I thought of another possibility. No, that's not necessarily true. Kaguya's bastard son is extremely powerful. Even among my own people, many cannot match him. If my fellow tribesmen come here and underestimate the other side, they will most likely be defeated by the other side. Even if they can win, it is impossible for them to win without paying any price. So this fellow tribesman of mine may be observing the situation while recovering from his injuries, or is he scaring me? Yes, he must be trying to scare me. Otherwise he wouldn't have to hide. Humph. In that case, let's compete and see who is in better condition now. Although Gaijin's body doesn't completely fit me now, I am a high-level warrior of the Otsutsuki. Ordinary Otsutsuki will never be my opponent. Come on. Let's face off. My unknown kindred spirit. As for this subordinate, just crush him to death. Think of the last one. A black stick was shot directly at the head of the thousand-handed heavenly man. Pen. The black stick shot straight at the head of the thousand-handed heavenly man. Page 135. There was a clanging sound, and then it fell to the ground weakly. The thousand-handed celestial being stared expressionlessly at the invisible form and said, I thought he was just an ant that I didn't need to worry about, but he actually attacked me. The attack was actually ineffective. And you saw me? Ishiki's heart skipped a beat, and he unexpectedly revealed his true form. He smiled elegantly and said, You're quite capable of withstanding my attack. No wonder you're valued. Tell me, who is your boss? If so, I might consider giving you a chance to live. Boss? Interesting word. Ever since I became emperor 22 years ago, there is no such word in the dictionary. The thousand-handed heavenly man smiled slightly but felt a little strange in his heart. A strange guy, someone who has never been seen in Naruto Shippuden. Could he be a hidden strong man? 127. Chapter 126. Another year. Boruto, Sasuke comes to the Empire. 127. This is possible after all. In anime, the characters become more powerful as they appear later in the story, so it is understandable that some old monsters are hidden to pave the way for subsequent plots. Senju Yamato did not doubt the other party's identity as Otsutsuki, because the other party had no Byakugan and no horns. In the stories where I have only seen Naruto and Sasuke as the protagonists, this is the standard configuration of the Otsutsuki. No white eyes, no horns? Otsutsuki? Are you kidding? 22 years ago Emperor Chen turned out to be the ruler of recent years. Not bad, no wonder he was valued. But judging from your attitude, are you going to reject me? He smiled faintly, looking calm. I should be the one telling you these words. If you join the Empire, I will give you a good treatment. How about that? The thousand-armed celestial being also had a calm expression. Oh, you are indeed an arrogant guy. Since you refuse, then go to hell. As soon as he finished speaking, he flew in front of the thousand-handed heavenly man like lightning, and swept his right leg across, landing heavily on the right shoulder of the thousand-handed heavenly man. Pen! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Terrifying power exploded. The atmosphere exploded, and the ground hundreds of meters around the thousand-armed heavenly man exploded, and debris flew everywhere. The thousand-armed heavenly man himself remained motionless under the surprised gaze. You rejected me and you attacked me for the second time. Although I don't care about the provocation of ants, the Emperor's status cannot be desecrated. Goodbye, unknown ant. As soon as Kainshu finished speaking, a fist as big as Ishiki's head smashed over heavily. In an instant, Ishiki's pupils contracted violently. At this moment, he felt an unprecedented crisis. He tried to dodge, but it was too late. Spatial abilities are restricted. I wanted to start the final posture, but it was too late. I could only watch the fist approaching. Countless images flashed through his mind, including those on the Otsutsuki clan's home planet, those after he descended into the ninja world with Kaguya, and those after he was severely injured by Kaguya's sneak attack and is still alive today. Why do I think of this? A strange thought came to my mind. The fist of the thousand-armed heavenly man has hit him hard on the head. Boom! Exclamation, 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 accompanied by a loud bang. Ishiki's body turned into ashes like shredded paper encountering flames. The remaining power of the thousand-armed heavenly man's fist continued to spread backwards. The earth seemed to have encountered a pair of invisible hands, being pushed sideways continuously, and the clouds in the sky were separated by one blow. The terrifying power lasted for a long time, until it dissipates. A huge ditch appeared in front of the thousand-armed heavenly man. This ditch is fan-shaped, at least hundreds of meters deep, and extends for unknown tens of thousands of meters, perhaps hundreds of thousands of meters, or even millions of meters. There is no end in sight. Even the clouds in the sky were like this, completely torn apart. Just one strike. Heaven and earth are annihilated. The thousand-handed heavenly man slowly retracted his fist and turned his gaze back to the big tree in front of him. He was not very curious about this unknown guy at the same time. An underground space. Ishiki's expression was dull after being reborn through the wedge, and it took him a while to recover. I am dead. What a horrible, inferior species. I don't know what's going on, but for now, I'd better just stay here quietly. The chakra I have left can keep me alive for a long time. Living is better than dying. Damn it, if I had used my full strength from the beginning, the result would never have been like this. I was careless after thinking about it till the end. I could only hide away obediently. Huiquan. The Six Paths sage watched the entire fight between Ishiki and the Thousand Hands celestial being, his eyelids twitching. This attack is really exaggerated. It is not weaker than the previous one at all. The key is it is too random. It seems that every time he attacks, he can achieve this effect. Surrender, old friend, said the old toad again. Perhaps you are right. Resistance is useless in the face of absolute power. The Six Paths sage felt unprecedented powerlessness. The next moment, the figure disappeared from the underworld and appeared in front of the thousand-handed heavenly being. The thousand-armed heavenly man looked at the Six Paths sage in front of him, raised his eyebrows, and lowered his hands that were folded across his chest. This action startled the Six Paths sage, who quickly waved his hands and said, "Emperor of another world, wait a minute. I came here to surrender." Surrender? The thousand-handed celestial being showed a strange expression. You're not prepared to resist me. Resist? The Emperor of the other world is such a joke with your strength. How can I resist? The Six Paths sage said with an awkward smile. Really? Thousand-handed heavenly man frowned, thinking about the problem. In the original world, the Six Paths sage rebelled against him and was beaten to death by him. This Six Paths sage of the ninja world actually surrendered directly. Is the reason because I am too strong now? The previous Six Paths sage thought he had a chance of winning, so he resisted. Now, the Six Paths sage, having seen my strength, believed that he had no chance of winning, and so he surrendered directly. It seems that this old guy is not a fool. He who knows the times is a hero. Very good. I understand. Then step back and wait for the fruit to be born. You will go to the Empire with me, thousand-handed celestial being. You agree just like that? The Six Paths sage was a little surprised. You know, keeping him, a remnant of the ninja world, is more or less dangerous. He was ready to make some sacrifices, or share his power with the other party, but he accepted it so easily. Of course, our enemy is the alien Otsutsuki. If you can join us, it will at least be an additional force. I have no reason to refuse. Thousand-handed celestial being. The alien Otsutsuki, Your Majesty, are you referring to my mother's tribe? The Six Paths of the Sage. Yes, I have received news that there should be many Otsutsuki hiding in the ninja world. It's just strange that I absorbed the chakra of the ninja world, but those Otsutsuki can still hold it in. Could it be that they are not in the ninja world for the time being but on the moon or other planets? Thousand-handed celestial being. There is also Otsutsuki. The Six Paths sage was shocked when he heard this. The other Otsutsuki are truly terrifying, and I don't know how they compare to their mother's heyday. If every one of them is like that, there will be quite a few of them. Then I'm afraid that the power currently displayed by the thousand-handed heavenly man will be dangerous. After all, a part of his mother's power had long been given to him and Yui. If this part of the power had not been given to her, I'm afraid that even the thousand-armed heavenly being in front of me wouldn't be able to defeat my mother so easily. This is what the Sage of Six Paths, who evolved from Kaguya's power at its peak, thinks. His expression gradually became serious. I see no wonder His Majesty wants to bring people from the two worlds together. It turns out that they want to fight against the Otsutsuki together. I understand for the sake of our own world, no matter what, I will contribute a part of my strength. I'm glad you think so. Now let's wait quietly for the fruit to mature, and by the way, let's be on guard against possible sneak attacks. The thousand-handed heavenly being finished speaking. Continue to wait. Time passes and day turns into night. The energy of the entire ninja world was also exhausted. The earth dried up and cracked, all the grass and trees in the forest withered, and oxygen and various energies became thin. The improved sacred tree finally absorbed the energy of the ninja world and produced a huge fruit with a diameter of tens of meters. The thousand-armed heavenly man carried the huge fruit and returned to the empire with the six paths sage, and crushed the entire fruit. In an instant, the emerald green energy spread throughout the empire. The plants, birds, animals, and all people swept by this force were changed to varying degrees. The grass and trees became more lush and even grew taller in an instant, and the flowers became more beautiful and gorgeous. The birds and beasts' injuries from the fight had healed, their fur became smooth and shiny, and they ate more food. All the people in the empire felt refreshed and relaxed as never before, and their martial arts training speed also increased. The entire empire possesses chakra, spiritual energy, and other energies from two worlds. It will double the training speed of some basic martial arts practitioners and ninjas. This discovery made everyone ecstatic. Work harder to make the empire more prosperous. Time flies, and soon a year has passed. Page 136. The outskirts of the imperial capital. Two figures suddenly appeared. The two figures. One has black hair that reaches below the ears, wearing a black windbreaker and holding a kusanagi sword in his hand. A figure had blonde hair, blue eyes, and wore a Konoha forehead protector. These two people are Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Boruto from Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. They frowned and glanced at their surroundings, then looked at the fan turtles in their hands. Warning! Warning! The time movement has deviated significantly from the appropriate coordinates. The fan turtle shouted with his mouth open. Ah! He spoke. Boruto Uzumaki held up the pink turtle and screamed in fear. The one-armed, black-haired Sasuke from Boruto Next Generation narrowed his eyes and stared at the pink turtle. This place is inconsistent with the time target location set by Lord Otsutsuki Urashiki, said the pink turtle. You mean time movement? Boruto Sasuke raised his eyebrows. Where are we now? The world of the past, but because of the time movement, the coordinates have deviated greatly, and we have come to the period when the fifth Hokage Tsunade was in charge of Konoha, said the pink turtle. Godame Boruto Sasuke frowned. Is this true? Uzumaki Boruto was a little bit unbelieving. Really? The pink turtle responded. Where is Pushi? You said we deviated from the coordinates and Pushi went to another era? Asked Sasuke in Boruto. Urashiki-sama set the time coordinates for the time shift to Uzumaki Naruto's childhood, but due to an error in the space shift, the time we arrived at is slightly later than the target time. Lord Urashiki, who is leaving us, will arrive in a few days. The pink turtle said. A few days later? Boruto asked. Sure enough, Urashiki's target is Naruto. Sasuke said in a firm tone in Boruto. Huh? Boruto was surprised. He said he wanted to harvest the chakra of the stinky fox, which means he originally planned to do something to young Naruto. Fortunately, we got here first, said Sasuke in Boruto. You're actually targeting my childhood father. Boruto's eyes gradually sharpened as he said. Anyway, we just need to find Dad before Urashiki does and protect him, right? Indeed. Boruto Sasuke nodded. As future humans, please allow me to convey some precautions to you, said the pink turtle. Speaking of which, what on earth are you? Pushi's partner? Boruto was a little impatient with the pink turtle's sudden interruption. I am the spacetime noble phantasm plow, and I do not have the concept of a companion, as you said, so there is no conflict of interest between me and Lord Urashiki. My mission is to execute the time movement and then narrate the notes. What are the precautions? Asked Sasuke in Boruto. First of all, the fact that you are from the future cannot be revealed to people in the past. Especially do not interfere with people with whom you have a close relationship. What happens if the identity is exposed or interfered with? It may have a huge impact on the future. To put it in an exaggerated way, an action you took in the past may change the future. So please proceed with caution. Please take into account the possibility that people or things in the future may disappear before you act. Hear the last words. Boruto and Sasuke in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations both looked a little serious. It seems that the next actions must be cautious. The two then jumped onto the tallest tree, preparing to find the location of Konoha, but they were startled as soon as they jumped onto the tree. What kind of world is this before our eyes? Above the clouds, an extremely huge fortress floats in the void. Below, there were rows of steel high-rise buildings, mechanical puppet birds, and people in strange costumes flying in the sky. Where exactly is this, Uncle Sasuke? During the time when Granny Tsunade was in power, were there such developed cities in the world? Why does it feel more prosperous than Konoha? Boruto asked, a little dumbfounded. It is hard to imagine that the world was so developed a dozen years ago. This sentence also dumbfounded Sasuke. He blinked, then lowered his head and grabbed the pink turtle, pried open its eyes, and said to the city in the distance, "What's going on? I don't remember such a thing existing in the world during Tsunade's reign. I can't understand checking error in time and space coordinates. Please confirm the timeline yourself," the pink turtle plow said in the same dumbfounded manner. Tusk. What an unreliable stinking turtle. Boruto cursed and continued, no matter what, there is a father in this world. Will that guy Urashiki show up in a few days? Yes, Uzumaki Naruto still exists in this world. There is no doubt about that, and Lord Urashiki will also arrive in a few days. The pink turtle plow affirmed. In that case, then Uncle Sasuke, let's go over there to gather some information, and at the same time find the way to Konoha and protect Dad. Boruto said. This is the only thing we can do. Our goal this time, no matter what, is to protect Naruto. Facing an opponent like Urashiki, people from the past era could not be a match unless forget it. That's simply impossible. In Boruto, Sasuke finally recalled the glory when he obtained the power of 6 paths during the Fourth War. He sighed in his heart and shook his head to get rid of the unnecessary thoughts. 128. Chapter 127 Boruto Sasuke. This can't be Naruto. 128. Subsequently, the two of them headed straight towards the magnificent city. There are no walls or guards outside the city. They walked in easily on the street. Everyone was dressed very fashionably and beautifully. The clothes they wore seemed somewhat out of place among the crowd. This attracted a lot of people's attention. But no one came over to chat with me. After all, he is a one-armed man approaching middle age with a child. This combination will never be popular. Of course, the most important thing is that adult Sasuke is no longer handsome. While walking on the street, Boruto was attracted by all kinds of strange things on the street and ran around with shining eyes. Oh, what's this colorful and sparkly thing? It looks really nice. This is candied haws. 1 string only costs 2 Shenwu coins. Would you like to try 1 string? No need. Oh, this is another model. The metal texture is so strong. It looks great. Is this the K527 airship model? Isn't it amazing? It only costs 300 Shenwu coins. What about this one? What about this one? A model from the Super Robot series. Would you like one? Pen. While Boruto was running, turning, and shouting excitedly, Boruto, who didn't pay much attention to the road, bumped into someone, and the huge recoil force caused him to fall down. It hurts, Boruto called out as he rubbed his hips. A somewhat arrogant and familiar roar also rang in my ears. Hey, what's wrong with you, little brat? Don't you have eyes? You're running around and bumping into people. It's okay because you bumped into me, but if you bumped into other old people, women, children, flowers, and plants, do you know how serious the consequences would be? You little brat. Didn't your family teach you to look at the road surface when you go shopping? Ugh. Boruto was stunned and looked at the other person. Seeing the man, who was about 1.85 meters tall, wearing a blue scarf, with an afro, a strong body, and a rather childish face, she couldn't help but exclaim, "Brother Konohamaru." Konohamaru, that boy? In Boruto, Sasuke was also staring at the other person's face and said secretly in his heart. At the same time, he couldn't help but frown. If this is Konohamaru, he looks like he is at least close to adulthood. In this case, according to the time calculation, Naruto has already gone through 4 battles. Even if he doesn't have the power of the 6 paths, he won't be much weaker than his own side, so it will be much easier to protect him. Things seem to be going pretty well. In Boruto, Sasuke's mouth corners slightly raised. Big brother. You actually know me? And you call me big brother? It seems that he is my fanboy. Forget it. Since you are my fanboy, I will forgive you for your impoliteness this time. Little brat, this is for you. The afro-haired Konohamaru grinned, touched the ring on his left hand with his right hand, took out a thin piece of paper and handed it to Boruto. After Boruto took it, he looked at the big words written on it in a daze. Written by Saruto by Konohamaru himself. This is Boruto was confused. My autograph, take it. No matter how you look at it, he is my fan, so our meeting is fate. Take this autograph, and you will be the most handsome one among your friends. Page 137. Imperial Konohamaru winked at Boruto, looking very proud. Huh? Who wants something like this? Boruto complained. Imperial Konohamaru's expression instantly darkened. You little brat. You're not my fan? Ah. Ha ha ha, of course I'm your fan, brother Konohamaru. Ha ha ha, I'm just a little too excited, and my mind is a little confused. Boruto reacted instantly, rubbing the back of his head and laughing. Oh, I see. Konohamaru's expression eased a lot, and then said, Good vision, kid. Take the autograph. I'm leaving. Naruto-sama's martial arts public lecture is about to begin today, and I can't be late. Konohamaru said as he was about to leave. When Boruto and Sasuke heard each other's words, their eyes immediately lit up. This guy mentioned Naruto. Wait, brother Konohamaru, you just mentioned Naruto? Uzumaki Naruto? Boruto said a little excitedly. Uzumaki Naruto? No, it's Namikaze Naruto. Konohamaru shook his head. Namikaze Naruto. Boruto was a little dumbfounded. Bofeng, isn't that Grandpa's last name? But Dad has always had Grandma's last name, so why is it Bofeng here? In Boruto, Sasuke is also a little confused. But in the eyes of both of them, these are minor issues. Now their goal is to find Naruto. Brother Konohamaru, can we go with you to see Naruto's dad, brother? Boruto said. Oh, it seems that you are also an admirer of Naruto-sama's muscular martial arts. Let's go together. Konohamaru happily patted Boruto's shoulder. Muscle martial arts? Hearing this novel word, Boruto blinked in confusion. In Boruto, Sasuke frowned even more tightly. Let's go. Stop standing there. Konohamaru greeted him and walked forward with big strides. Boruto and Sasuke looked at each other and hurried to catch up. Together, the two of them soon arrived at a huge place that looked like the Colosseum in Rome. It was packed with people, and most of the seats that could hold at least 10,000 people were occupied. Most of these people were only wearing a tight vest, exposing their strong muscles, and chatting casually with a happy look on their faces. Konohamaru came here and attracted a lot of attention. Many people turned their eyes over. A man with gelled hair and a gentle but muscular face and a strong woman with blonde hair tied in a ponytail were the first to greet Konohamaru. Hey, Konohamaru is here. Ha ha ha. Mogi and Udon, you two came really early. Big brother Naruto will not come out for a while. Konohamaru replied with a smile. The three men approached each other, stretched out their arms, and pushed each other hard. Pen. It was as if three pieces of solid steel collided with each other and made a sound. These words and actions. This surprised Boruto and Sasuke again. Mo Yellow, Udon? That nerd with glasses, that cute sister, how come they have become two muscular men here? And the way they greet each other is so unique. What kind of world is this? Boruto and Sasuke looked at each other, their eyelids twitching. Konohamaru, didn't you come early too? By the way, what's going on with that little brat and that old man behind you? Mo Huang asked. Huh? Them? Fans I met on the road. You know, I have always been so popular in the Empire. Konohamaru said proudly. Empire? Boruto and Sasuke noticed a special word. That's right, you're from the heroic clan after all. Udon nodded. A clan of heroes? The Sarutobi clan? Boruto and Sasuke remembered this word. Ha 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 ha. This is all thanks to Uncle Asuma. What a pity I was still young at that time. Otherwise I would have personally cut off the head of the old dog Hiruzen without the need for Uncle Asuma to help. Konohamaru laughed. These words shocked Boruto and Sasuke. Cut off the head of old dog Hiruzen? Sarutobi Hiruzen? Aren't you his grandson? How can you say such a thing? Isn't this too rebellious? Boruto and Sasuke wanted to ask, but this world was so abnormal that they were afraid of exposing themselves, so they had to keep it to themselves. Ha, that's true. It's a pity that we were not born in that era. Maybe we could appreciate your majesty's heroic figure then. Mogi and Udon laughed. Then he invited Boruto and Sasuke to sit down together. Look at how they are dressed. Cute Zodiac, what's this little brother's name? Why is he still playing? Me. My name is Uzumaki Boruto. You can just call me Boruto, Mogi's sister. Boruto said with a bright smile. Boruto. What a nice name. And she's also very beautiful with such blonde hair. Meng Huang smiled, and all the muscles in her body were shaking. Your blonde hair is also very beautiful, Meng Huang's sister. Boruto looked at the other's muscles with a little stiff face. The kid is really good at talking. But it's also true. Only a blonde, muscular girl like me is worthy of big brother Naruto. Meng Huang said this, covering her cheeks with her hands, looking like a nympho. Boruto and Sasuke's heartbeats quickened as they watched this. Boruto even shouted in his heart, "What's up with the cute little sister here? Why is she attracted to my dad? And shouldn't dad be married to mom by now? Does she want to be a mistress? Damn it!" Sasuke was also speechless. According to his memory, Naruto should have been married to Hinata at this time, but when he thought about the weirdness of this world, he could only pursue the truth later. Yes, Meng Huanji and old Naruto brother, they are a perfect match. Boruto said against his will. Tusk. This is ridiculous. There are at least hundreds of thousands of women who want to marry Naruto-sama, if not millions in the entire empire. How can it be your turn? Imperial Konohamaru sneered at this. Udon on the side was also laughing. This made Meng Huang furious, and he roared, "You two bastards, are you looking for a fight? Come on. As seekers of the truth of muscle, we only have eyes for muscles, regardless of gender. Come on if you want to fight." Konohamaru was not to be outdone and made a strong gesture with his hands. Damn Konohamaru, do you think I'm afraid of you? Go. Get out now and see how I teach you a lesson. Let's go. As they talked, they walked out. Udon followed without a word. Boruto widened his eyes and shouted, Hey. Really? Brother Konohamaru, Sister Mogiyu, you don't have to fight over a disagreement like this, right? This isn't a fight. This is a sparring match. As warriors, we need to spar with each other often to improve our martial arts skills. Yudon turned around and explained. Boruto and Sasuke looked at each other, then walked out together. There is a lot of open space outside the venue. After Konohamaru and Mogi came out, they threw off their vests, revealing their strong bodies. Konohamaru's pectoralis major muscles bulged and pulsed slightly under his control. Mocha had a bandage wrapped around his chest, and he shook his pectoral muscles not to be outdone, which made Boruto and Sasuke's eyelids twitch. No more nonsense. Meng Huang, come over here. Huh. Damn Konohamaru, I'm going to let you know the strength that Naruto's girlfriend should have now. Huh. Muscles liberation. Meng Huang shouted loudly, and his height immediately increased from 1.8 meters to 1.9 meters, and the muscles in his thighs and arms increased by several points again. Upon seeing this, Konohamaru also roared, and his height suddenly increased from 1.85 meters to 1.95 meters. Then, the two of them rushed straight towards each other. Pen! Exclamation! A simple and direct straight punch collided with each other. A strong burst of energy. Page 138. Boruto, who was dozens of meters away, felt a strong wind and was almost blown away. He quickly shielded his eyes with his right arm and murmured, "What a strong power!" Bang bang bang. Konohamaru and Mogi refused to give in to each other, and their fists kept hitting each other. Waves of impact began to spread, and the ground beneath their feet began to crack. Boruto was blown dozens of meters away by the continuous energy before he could steady his body. Looking at the increasingly larger holes under Konohamaru and Mocha's feet, Boruto gasped. This world's Konohamaru-sama and Moga-sama are so powerful, much more powerful than ours indeed. Judging from their performance, this power is not less than that of the former Fourth Raikage. These two little brats may not even be adults, yet they have this kind of power, which is really good. In Boruto, Sasuke appeared beside Boruto at some point and whispered, "A body that's even stronger than the Fourth Raikage's." "He's really strong," Boruto exclaimed. "But this level of power is useless against the Otsutsuki." Sasuke shook his head again. Boruto's expression also became serious. "Yes. Their enemy is the Otsutsuki. This is far beyond the ability of ordinary ninjas and shadows to resist." The battle between Konohamaru and Mogi lasted for several minutes. During this time, many people passed by, stopped to watch, and cheered for the two. Until the end, the two of them stopped at the same time, looked at their watches, and rushed into the field at the same time. "What is this?" Boruto asked. "It's almost time for Naruto-sama to appear. Hurry up and catch up," Yudon reminded. Boruto and Sasuke quickly followed and returned to their seats. Not a moment. The crowd cheered loudly. "Here he comes. Here he comes. Lord Naruto is here. Ah, Naruto-sama. We love you. Muscle King. Ah, so cool. So great. Such powerful muscles. Naruto-sama. I can't handle it." Exclamation in this series of calls. I saw a muscular man with an extremely exaggerated body, wearing only a vest, with explosively developed arms and legs and blood vessels all over his body like earthworms, doing bodybuilding poses and laughing wildly, falling from the sky. "Look at this muscular man with blonde hair and blue eyes." Boruto and Sasuke's eyes widened. Boruto even stammered, This can't it be, Dad? How could this be Naruto? You must be kidding. This is several times more exaggerated than the muscle guy in Kumagakure." Sasuke's anus tightened subconsciously. He thought that if Naruto in his own world was like this, and chased him, calling him Sasuke, and asked him to go back to the village or something, he would probably want to kill him. It was really chilling to watch, not to mention that his first kiss was given to the other person. My wedding date is approaching, and I'm currently preparing for the wedding, and I also need to save more manuscripts, so there probably won't be many updates recently. 129. Chapter 128 Is Naruto in this world an evil god? 129. Their words were drowned out by the waves of cheers and no one paid any attention to them. And Imperial Naruto, looking at the full auditorium, shouted, "Martial artist who pursues the truth of muscles. Let's show the beauty and strength of muscles together. Feel the light of muscles. Meet pressure, synchronicity, rhythm, drink." Imperial Naruto said and suddenly stretched out his arms. Then his already tall body expanded rapidly, reaching more than 3 meters in height, and began to glow with golden light. The golden light illuminates the whole place. Everyone screamed wildly, their vests burst, and with countless small steps, their muscles swelled again. Boruto and Sasuke felt as if they were in a sea of muscles. The white, strong muscles filled their eyes, making people dizzy and uncomfortable. Even when I was exposed to the radiation, I could feel the muscles all over my body twitching constantly. If my clothes hadn't been relatively loose, I would probably have burst like everyone else. What kind of jutsu is this? It feels so weird. Boruto screamed. He folded his hands, with a distorted expression. In Boruto, Sasuke broke out in a cold sweat and used his own strength to suppress the impulse, feeling it was weird in his heart. Ha ha ha, relax your mind and relax your muscles. Only in this way can the muscles become more perfect. Everyone, martial artists who are pursuing the way of muscles, please listen to my muscle teachings. The so-called muscle, take from the surplus and make up for the deficiency. Therefore, the empty overcomes the real, and the insufficient overcomes the excess. Its meaning is broad, its theory is profound, its interest is deep. It explains the images of heaven and earth, the signs of yin and yang, the causes of change, and the signs of life and death. Imperial Naruto laughed wildly and loudly explained his muscular martial arts. The resounding voice echoed throughout the venue. The frequency of the muscles all over his body changed, and the muscles of other people followed his frequency and beat more violently and perfectly. Boruto saw Konohamaru, Mogi, and Udon spreading their arms with enthusiasm. As if possessed by a demon, his face was intoxicated. Wonderful. It's so wonderful. Is this the true secret of the great king of muscles? I can feel the perfect rhythm of the muscles. Ah, freedom. A breath of freedom like never before. Jump, my muscles. Jump even harder. I smell a wonderful scent of sweat. Is this heaven? Above the void, one imaginary muscular man after another appeared, posing in bodybuilding poses. There are also shadows of strong men wrestling and colliding with each other, engaging in a series of power confrontations. The whole venue was filled with admiration, cheers, and groans. Boruto and Sasuke watched this scene and kept wanting to join them, but they didn't dare to and could only suppress it, so that his face kept turning red. Time flies. 10 minutes later, Boruto finally couldn't hold it back anymore. He roared wildly and tore his clothes to shreds. Then, with a red face, he struck a bodybuilding pose and laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha, wonderful. So wonderful. Muscles are such a wonderful thing. Freedom. I feel a freedom and joy I have never felt before. The sky and the earth are beneath me. Ha 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 ha, that's right. As a fan of Naruto-sama, this is what you should do. Imperial Konohamaru grabbed Boruto's shoulders and laughed. Damn it. Boruto actually is Naruto in this world, some kind of evil god? In Boruto, Sasuke pressed his right leg tightly with one hand, forcing himself to remain calm. He persisted alone in endless agony for half an hour. Imperial Naruto then finished his explanation, said goodbye to everyone with a big laugh, and soared into the sky. Everyone looked at the receding figure of Imperial Naruto in admiration. No one noticed. In Boruto, Sasuke takes off his cloak and covers Boruto with it, then holds him and quickly jumps back and forth on various buildings, following closely. Boruto felt the cold wind and instantly woke up. Glancing at his upper body, he blushed and said, "Ah, how could this happen? What kind of evil monster is the father of this world? I can't control myself at all. I just did something so stupid. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. If Sarada and Mitsuki knew about this, they would definitely laugh at me. Boruto feels like he is socially dead. I will keep it a secret for you. Now, shut up quickly or someone will hear you. Boruto, Sasuke said. We agreed that you must not tell them. Boruto said again worriedly. It's a deal, said Sasuke in Boruto. Hearing this, Boruto exhaled and calmed down a little. Thank you, Uncle Sasuke. But, what ability did the father in this world just use? And why can he fly? I don't remember him knowing this kind of ninjutsu. I don't know. This world is a little too strange. I have no idea what it is. Boruto, Sasuke shakes his head. He knew nothing about the power of muscles. But the ability to fly? He thought of Naruto, who obtained the power of 6 paths during the Fourth War. At that time, he was able to fly. But afterwards, this ability is gone. The Naruto in this world is all muscular and looks stronger than a bull, so why can he fly? Who can understand? Seeing no chakra fluctuations at all, it's so weird. And what is he going to do now? Fly a little away from the city center. Naruto from the Empire in the sky suddenly slowed down his flying speed and slowly landed. Page 139. In Boruto, Sasuke raised his eyebrows and quickly hugged Boruto, looking for a cover to hide. But this was of no use to Naruto. After he landed, he shouted, "Friends, don't hide. No one can escape my muscle perception. I can feel that your muscles are weak though. But it is filled with powerful chakra. Discovered? This strange dad in this world has unexpectedly strong perception. But what the hell is muscle perception?" Boruto muttered. The Uzumaki clan has a strong chakra perception. If the Naruto in this world is strong enough, it won't be too difficult for him to find me. Sasuke didn't care. In the original world, at this point in time, he and Naruto have experienced 4 wars. Although he lost the power of 6 paths in the end, he is still far from being comparable to ordinary ninjas. He took Boruto and slowly walked out of a shelter. Looking at the two of them, Imperial Naruto grinned. Are you two the ones following me? You can keep up with my speed. It seems you are quite strong. How is it? Is there anything you want to talk to me about? We are fine, we just happened to be on the same road. Boruto turned his eyes left and right and said. Sasuke from Boruto next to him tapped his head gently. It's too obvious, idiot. Ah. Sorry, Boruto covered his head and said depressedly, I really don't know what to say to such an old brother Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, do you believe us? Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Sasuke looked at the Empire Naruto and said, Ah. Of course. Imperial Naruto smiled and responded. He had a wonderful feeling in his heart, and there was an aura about the other person that made him feel very familiar. It feels a bit like Sasuke on my side and Sasuke in the ninja world. As for that little brat, there's a strange sense of blood connection. A few generations ago, maybe it was a relative. Imperial Naruto naturally has a strong liking for this kind of people. Thank you for your trust. Then I will say it straight. Someone wants to attack you. We are here to protect you. In Boruto, Sasuke reveals his cards directly. Although Lai had warned him before, the world was still too strange because of the disorder of time and space. In Boruto, Sasuke feels that he can only believe half of what Lee says. Protecting Naruto seemed to be the best option while keeping his identity hidden as much as possible. Protect me. Imperial Naruto was stunned, as if he had heard something incredible, and pointed his finger at his nose. Are you sure you want to protect me? Yes, we know you are strong, but the enemy this time is extraordinary. And if the enemy succeeds, the world will be in danger, so please allow us to protect you. Boruto, Sasuke said, a serious look on his face. Please, Naruto-sama. Boruto clasped his hands together and pleaded as well. Okay. But could you tell me in detail what happened? Imperial Naruto saw that Boruto Sasuke was so serious and his attitude was so kind that he was powerless to refuse, so he just scratched his head and asked, "This is a classified mission, sorry, we can't tell you the details. But please believe us, we will never harm you." Boruto, Sasuke said. "Ah, is that so? That's such a pity, ha ha ha." Imperial Naruto scratched his head awkwardly, then burst into laughter. "But I can feel your muscles. You are not lying, and you don't have any intention of harming me, so I will still believe you. I will inform His Majesty and have the entire Empire on guard and ready to defend against the enemy." "Your Majesty? Are you the ruler of this strange place?" Sasuke said this in his heart, and then quickly said, "Please don't do this. If too many people knew about this, it might cause unknown troubles. In general, the fewer people know, the better. Please trust us, we have the ability to protect you." "Is that so? Okay then. But your muscles are crying. That broken arm has been there for at least 10 years. If you want to protect me, you'd better get it treated. Go find Dr. Haruno Sakura. With her ability, it won't be difficult for her to regenerate your broken arm perfectly." Imperial Naruto smiled and gave Boruto Sasuke a thumbs up. The posture that resembled thick eyebrows made Boruto and Sasuke's eyelids twitch. Boruto even muttered, "Haruno Sakura? Aunt Sakura?" Sakura and Boruto, Sasuke was also muttering to himself. "In this strange world, I don't know what my Sakura will look like. He shouldn't be all muscles like Naruto, right? Hiss, that's too scary." When Sasuke and Naruto next generations thought about himself and Sakura being intimate and being pressed down by each other, with muscles all he could see, his face turned dark. "Although my Sakura is not like that, it's still disgusting when I think about it." "Auntie Sakura." "Hello, hey, little friend." Sakura has a gentle personality. But she doesn't like being called Annie. After all, she is not that old yet. Imperial Naruto raised his index finger and shook it gently. "Ah, sorry, it's Sakura-ni." Boruto scratched his head and stole a glance at his teacher. "Sorry, let's forget about the treatment. This is the price I paid for the mistakes I made when I was young, and I am willing to bear the punishment of losing my arm. If there is a cure, then who is responsible for the mistakes?" In Boruto, Sasuke shook his head and his voice was a little heavy. Upon hearing this, Imperial Naruto was silent for a moment and sighed. "Is that so? That's a shame. If you really want to protect me, then follow me. I still have to train little Naruto." "Lil Naruto?" Boruto and Sasuke were surprised. "Huh? You didn't know?" The whole world had been notified before. Never mind, Imperial Naruto wanted to explain more. But when he thought about the other party's arrogant attitude of being able to protect himself, he thought that the other party might be a wild ninja from the previous era in the mountains. So he didn't continue. Just said, "It's Uzumaki Naruto, who joined the Empire not long ago. It's me from another world." "What? You in another world? Why is there another world?" Sasuke and Boruto were shocked and their eyes widened instantly. "What's so strange about this?" "The dimension theory has long been proven. If you are interested, you can go to the Imperial Library or learn more about it online. Roughly, what it means is that there are countless worlds like ours. These countless worlds will have some differences to a greater or lesser extent. Maybe the me in this world is strong and likes muscles. Maybe in another world, I am short, like women, or have a naive and hardworking personality." Imperial Naruto roughly explained. Sasuke and Boruto looked at each other. "This is totally different from what Lai said before. How many lies does that stinky turtle tell? But if everything is exposed, if something really happens, it will be too late to regret or continue to learn more about this world." Boruto and Sasuke made up their minds. Boruto said, "Well, Naruto-sama, let's go. I also want to see what Naruto-sama is like in another world. Upon hearing this, Imperial Naruto said, "Then hurry up and catch up." As he said that, he waved his hand and took the two of them straight to the open space in the suburbs. Far away, Boruto and Sasuke saw a group of people sitting under a giant tree and chatting. This group of people consists of 1 woman and 4 men. The women are over 1.7 meters tall and the men are over 1.8 meters tall. Alright legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Remember, we've got 3 days to prove this story needs to continue. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.